with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight, Jennifer?
Doing well.
Well, let's take a look at the cards. See what is it you'd like to look at?
I guess love.
Okay. Anything in particular? Something going on, or just the future?
The guy I'm with, he had to move to the northern end of the state to help his family. So I'm sure it's my ego and my own mind getting to me, but just want to see what the cards have to say.
Okay, let's see what's going on here. It's very funny that you mentioned you said your ego and your own mind.
Yes, sir.
The first card I've got is the Seven of Cups, and that is about unfocused thoughts. It's about the imagination kind of running wild. So that's an interesting thing there. That's just a confirmation there of what you mentioned. That the Nine of Swords is here. That's a card of sadness and sorrow. You're not particularly happy about that. The Three of Swords is here. That is about sadness in a relationship. So, yeah, these aren't telling you anything. These are, these things. Let's see if we can move into the future here. The Ace of Cups is here, which tells me that there's going to be a rebirth in terms of your emotions and feelings and romance. Doesn't necessarily mean with somebody else. It could be somebody else, or it could be with this person. I'm seeing happiness and joy coming your way. Literally, I'm seeing marriage in your future also, which is the Hierophant, which is a card in some decks. It's known as the Pope because it signifies religious conformity in a sense, authority rather, not conformity really, religious authority. Whenever that shows up in a romance reading, if that's the question, it's about marriage. But I'm seeing you're going through a very sad period, but you'll come out of it and you'll be very happy. Whether it's with that person or somebody else, I can't tell you right now. I don't see any indication. I just keep seeing overall, like the Sun and the Ten of Cups. These are all cards of great joy and happiness. The Lovers card is here. Well, that's an interesting card in this context also, not just because it's called the Lovers, but because it means you're going to be called on to make a choice. Judging by the nature of these cards, you're going to make a good choice. The choice you make is going to be right for you. The World is here, which is assured success. So all these things are saying to me, don't worry about it. Whatever happens is going to work out for the best for you. Very much for the best, I might add. Now, that, as I said, I don't know if that's with the same person or with somebody else, but it's going to be good. Things are going to settle down and work out for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up. Yeah, these are... It's interesting because the feelings can be so transitory, it's... We sometimes think things are like the end of the world. And then things change, it's, oh boy, do things change. Things change in a heartbeat, don't they? Gee, they sure do. Ashley in Buffalo is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Beautiful. What can I look at for you?
Maybe just, I kind of want to be more broad in this. I'm kind of going through a lot of changes. So maybe just, whatever is happening regarding love and work.
Let's see what shows up because this is definitely a time of change. I mean, judging just by the cards tonight, we're moving into a time of change. And judging by what people tell me, I think we're all ready for some changes.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, these are good. I had this card earlier, which is the Ten of Swords. That means that You've been through some rough times, but it's going to be over. The rough times are going to end soon. The Temperance card tells me balance will be restored. Have you felt that your life is a bit out of balance?
Yes, very much so.
Well, the Temperance card is about balance being restored, so that's good to see. And then the Sun card. This is the fourth time tonight I've gotten the Sun card. The Sun is about healing and health and growth and happiness. It's very dull. Everything is turning out nice for people, you know. It's,
yeah.
I mean, you go to the movies, and every time we read cards for people, it turns out they're going to die horribly. But it doesn't seem to be happening. You know, I feel cheated. You know, I've never predicted death. Although I did get the death card for somebody, which was exactly the card he should have seen at that moment, because it was about the death card is about one phase of your life ending and another phase beginning. But I didn't. I was too new at this. I didn't explain it to him. And so he wanted to know. I've told this many times, so I'm not telling stories out of school. He had a chance to leave New York City and get a house at a phenomenally low price and open up a new business in the house doing hairstyling. And he wanted to know how things would work out if he took the chance to do this. And the card that came out was the death card, and he screamed and fainted pretty much. You know, he slid from his chair. He hit his chin on the table. He collapsed, you know, knocked himself out. Very bad. I'm very conscious about that death card now, but no, this is good stuff here. You'll be fine. You're gonna. I mean, I've got the nine of cups here. Tells me you're in for a very sensuous time. Pleasure. You're somebody who knows how to enjoy pleasure, and you're going to. So this is all looking very good. I'm not seeing any conflict. I'm just seeing that whatever was out of balance and troublesome is going to end, and then things look really, really good after that. So here's another one. I got this 3 or 4 times tonight, the 10 of Cups, which is perfected happiness. So you'll be fine. Is there anything else you want to look at, or anything specific? Because I've got a little time left here.
I mean, I really kind of, when it comes to, I'm kind of just dating a couple of guys right now, and I kind of want to know if either of them are even worth, continuing, or if there's, maybe something new coming into my near future.
Let's see. That's a good question. I just got this in the previous reading. It's the Hierophant. That indicates marriage. Well, of course, the question is who. The Lover's card is here. I had that also for this person. That indicates a choice you need to make. But this is nothing you don't know. I'm not getting any indication one way or the other. I mean, the Knight of... the Knight of Cups is here. Now, that's interesting, because the Knight of Cups tells me that there's somebody else going to come into your life.
Okay.
And the Knights are the beginnings of something, and they can be pretty erratic, but that can also be very emotionally arousing and exciting, because it can be up and down and left and right, and it's like the horse on the chessboard, on the knight. When it shows up, it's the power appearing. And I definitely see that there's something new coming your way. That may be the nature of the choice. You're gonna have an abundance of riches here. You're gonna have several people to choose from, but keep an eye out, because there's definitely a new relationship coming your way. These cards are almost completely. Here's the 2 of Cups. You see that's what that's about. That's a card of a new relationship. This is very good. This is clear. I don't mean good or bad, is in a good or bad sense, but I mean it's very clear. I can read this clearly. Is that there is a new relationship headed your way. The 6 of Rods tells me it's going to be quite successful.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, here's one of my favorite cards for this kind of thing. It's the 4 of Cups. That tells me it's somebody there's a very high likelihood that somebody is interested in you that way, but hasn't made it known yet.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting
Yes. I used to say to people, so keep an eye out, see if somebody's attitude changes when you get into the room. And somebody said, well, that's good. How do I know what their attitude was before I got there? I said, oh, yeah. It made sense to me until you told me that. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You'll feel a vibe when you get in the room, if that's not too 60s of me. But there's a new relationship headed your way. Between the Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups, I have no doubt about it.
Okay.
And just see if it's maybe somebody you don't know yet. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Okay.
And I would like to just to take a little bit of time here to reflect on the past 11 years, because my nose is a little clogged up now. This is not like a cold or anything. This happens to me when the weather gets dry from the cold. I'm probably I've had nasal trouble all my life. I'm probably the only person I've heard of who I had my tonsils taken out because my adenoids had to come out. Usually it's the other way around. Usually they take out the tonsils and then they say, as long as we're in here, let's just get another fee and take out the adenoids. But I've had nose troubles all my life. Fortunately, I found a decongestant that works marvelously, and I am not going to mention that because I don't give medical advice. Yay, I'm one of the few people who doesn't give medical advice. Have you noticed how so many people became medical experts? So many people know all there is to know about vaccines, and so many people know all there is to know about viruses, and so many people don't know what the hell they're talking about. But, this is, I say, stick to what you know. What has happened? See, in the last 11 years now, going forward, going backward, looking backward, I would say that one of the best things that's happened to me, aside from the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people I've spoken to, gosh, I mean, and the people the relationships I've made with people off the air, people I got to know because of the show, it's just wonderful. And anybody who wants to contact me off the air, asktaro@earthlink.net is my email. asktaro@earthlink.net. I know that everybody can't get through every night. I also know that there's a lot of people who don't want to talk in front of hundreds and hundreds of thousands and thousands of millions of people, tens of billions of people, right? Hey, we don't know. This could be good. This is going out into the ether. This is going out into space. We don't know how many people are listening. We don't even know how many people are listening in the past or the future, because time is weird. But hey, you want to know more about what I do. I have expanded my website thanks to the stimulation of the conversations I've had here over 11 years. That would be magic-works.com, magick-works.com. I've expanded mojoacademy.org. These were just little teeny websites I had years ago. There's so many things there now. Mojoacademy.org is where the books are. Books, records. Look at me, records. I'd press vinyl if I could. I probably could. But it's, we make DVDs and CDs, all with occult themes, except for one of my favorites, which nobody really pays much attention to, but it's kind of a labor of love at mojoacademy.org. I have some old-time serials there. I don't think I have Captain Marvel because I believe that's under copyright, and I don't want to violate copyright laws, but there are things there like the Return of Chandu the Magician and all these wonderful old serials. Bela Lugosi went from playing the villain in Chandu the Magician, which you can find at my website, magic-works.com. There's a print there to see, not to buy. And he became the hero in The Return, in Chandu Returns, which is one of those 15-part serials. That was just, I have a hankering for those old things. I kind of like them. But there's also Secrets of Success there. There's a wonderful out-of-print public domain album from the 70s called How to Pick Up Girls. And I put that there for all you people who've never spent a night in court. Because you follow the advice in this record and you'll probably be arrested. But it's a real relic of its time, and I like relics of their time, that's all. But there's wonderful books there, like Reverend Elliot's Magical Window is a book named after this show, and I dedicated it to you, the listeners of this program, because without you, I would never have written that book. And that is a book on how to read tarot cards yourself. And it comes with a CD of genuine tarot readings that are examples of the points made in that book. So if you want to do this, if you want to do what I do, and there's, people have been reading tarot cards for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Check out the book, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. It's only available through Amazon.com, but it's there, and you can find the link to it at mojoacademy.org. It's the kind of book I wish I'd had when I was learning how to read. And it has a wonderful bibliography with loads of other books that are really quite good, quite helpful. One book that I highly recommend all the time, which I didn't write, is the Tarot Workbook by Emily Peach. That is a beautiful, beautiful book. It's in 2 sections. The first section is easy, and it'll help you learn all about tarot. And the second section is very obscure, and it's about the deeper metaphysical nature of tarot. That's also covered in one of my other books by a man named David Lemieux, which I understand is also the name of a hockey player. But it's called The Ancient Tarot and Its Symbolism. It's harder to find that book, but if you do find it, it's quite rewarding, and it's beautifully illustrated, and you'll see so many interesting tarot decks there. But it's a fascinating look if you want to get deeper into the cards and learn more than just divination, not fortune telling. Divination. These are 2 different things. Fortune telling is you'll meet a tall, dark stranger kind of stuff. Divination is using the divine spark and accessing, I call it the magical window, because the tarot cards through divination allow you to see things that the senses do not perceive. You heard examples of that tonight, such as when I asked the caller if she was looking for a new job, because that's what the cards showed me. And she said, yes, absolutely. These are not tricks. You can do tricks with anything, but these are not tricks. And you'll learn about that in Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is a book that I do recommend highly. And I always enjoy sending out signed copies, if that means anything. But oh gosh, and that was only written because I was inspired by all the wonderful experiences I've had here. I have not had a bad moment with anybody through Ask One Radio. Not just the callers, of course. I mean, the people behind Ask One Radio are just delightful, beautiful people. And if you have in the back of your mind an itch to do this kind of stuff, and get on video and radio. I think I'm the last person doing exclusively radio, but those days are numbered. Yes, I will admit it. I've been doing video tests. Yes, I will admit it. I've been shedding a little weight, Oh, vanity, right? And if you want to do this, this is the place to do it. This is the place to do it, is Ask One Radio, because it is the most positive group of people I've ever been associated with. Do you think I'd be here 11 years if I didn't like this? Come on. Like I said, I've had marriages that didn't last this long. Not the current one. The current one, I don't know. I don't think I'm too old to say one day it's going to be my 40th anniversary at Ask One Radio, but that's the 2 most important anniversaries in my life. And yes, it did change my life, doing Ask One Radio and being with you guys every Wednesday when I'm available. I promise every year, I promise not to miss any shows, but then every year something happens, because we're only human and we're frail. And we'll shuffle up the cards one more time, and I am going to see what's in my future. How's that? Got 2 minutes left. Let's see, what do I have here? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's fascinating. That's marvelous. Oh, wait a minute. You want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you what I see here? Oh, gosh. I got the King of Coins. That's the first card I got. Now, that's interesting because that's a card that suits, that's my significator as a tarot reader. The King of Coins is a mature in age person who's Capricorn. But I'm just getting cards of happiness and joy, and that's what I'm feeling. Well, we got about a minute and a half to go, so I might as well wrap it up and just tell you, thank you for the last 11 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 11 years with you. You can contact me anytime, as I said, at Ask Tarot, ASKTAROT at earthlink.net, and I will get back to you. And I do offer a free mini reading to all the Ask One radio listeners. I'll be happy to pull a few cards for you. No charge. That's my gift back to you. And let's see, mojoacademy.org we mentioned. That's where the books are. Magic-works.com. I got like 100 pages there, and I'm adding them all the time. Take a look at the occult jewelry page. That's one of my favorite things. As soon as we're done here tonight, I'm going to design some more jewelry to put there. But that's about it. That's the end of the 10th year, and now into the end of the 11th year. See, there I go again. You know, 10th anniversary started year 11. So what can you do? The first anniversary started the second year, so there it is. I've got to run now. So remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. See you next week. Bye bye now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Psychic Paths
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Amazingly accurate, clear answers to any question. You'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light transmitter. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials.
Hello. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am Suzanne Marie, and I'm your host for a little bit. Please stick around for the evening because we have some really, really good readers tonight. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium, and I can be contacted through the website Psychic Paths. So how is everyone? We have just had a full moon again in Cancer, which is a very, very sensitive sign. I'm always the one to say that these full moons every month kind of allow us to release what is no longer benefiting us. And I'm afraid that this one is a bit sensitive. So if you feel very sensitive or emotional, let me tell you, it's okay. It's okay to feel your feelings and to let them go. Feelings and emotions, no matter what the scale, is really, really, really normal and human. The trouble comes when we don't know how to react to them or behave with them. But it's okay to feel your feelings. It's not okay to just do anything you want because of them. And once you feel them and go through them and process them, let them go. Don't hold on to them. So that's my little spiel. I hope everyone is feeling good. We have Kara from Texas. Hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay.
Good. What can I help with tonight?
Just anything that you might have some advice for me.
Okay, let me see what Spirit tells me. So I don't know if this resonates, but right away, Spirit tells me that you feel like there's a pause. Do you feel like you're kind of paused, like you're in between situations?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there's no movement. There's no movement, and I feel like you desire some movement in your life. Let me see. So you have a few people on the other side also.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just seen this older gentleman, and it feels like he's really got a great sense of humor. And he kind of popped in with a great big smile and said, "Tell her I said hello." But he's an older gentleman. So, yeah, he showed up. Spirit wants you to know that this pause is necessary, the feeling of stillness. And I feel like you're a very active person, like you're used to being very active with your life, with your work, you know, that activity is a part of your life. But Spirit wants you to know that this time of pause is for you to be able to be clear and to kind of get grounded, because I feel like your next chapter is going to be busy, but Spirit wants you to be able to have that clarity along with it. It's not going to be a time of letting it go with the flow. It's going to be really you making precise decisions about where you want your life to be. Who, what, where, and why is really you are going to be in charge. And I don't think that you've thought of that you've ever thought about, am I in charge or what's going on? But Spirit is letting you know that now they're kind of grounding you to make you clear for what's going to happen in the future. And I feel like this 2024 is really going to be a blessing for you. I don't feel like you've had a very big amount of worries or things, but I feel like you haven't been able to exhale and say, okay, I've made it, or I've done it, or the joy of anything. And I just feel like 2024 is going to be your time to feel that joy. And I think part of that joy is that you're going to be driving the bus, nobody else. And that you do get to take time to say, my decisions, my feelings, my thoughts, my time. And so that's really what I feel like Spirit is wanting you to know.
Okay.
That I don't think that it's going to be trouble making decisions. I feel like you're going to handle it like a pro, because I get this feeling from you that you're a leader, that you're just one of those people that can say, hey, go over there and do that. And people will. You know, where if I said it, they give me the look, like, who is she to tell me what to do? Maybe you don't know you have those leadership skills, but you do. You have a very, very good way of leading people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you look from in spirit like you're in between things. Are you in a place? Are you in a place where you think, well, I want to be here for the rest of my life, or here for a long time? Is that how you feel?
I'm kind of trying to make a life-changing decision on relationship-wise, if I want to still be married to my husband or not.
I feel like everything you've done, or at least a lot of the things that you've done, have been because it was supposed to be, or it was the right thing to do. And I don't think you're there anymore. I think you're kind of like, what do I feel, and what do I think, and what do I want? And I do believe that you know in your heart of hearts what you want. You have, I can feel that you have not been able to be as much as you want to be, or to be as free to be who you want to be. And I feel like you're on the precipice of making the decision now. There is no right or wrong answer with that. It's in your heart. It's in your heart every day, and it feels like a lot of the time that decision is there, but it's yours, and nobody's going to judge you, and nobody should judge you because it's your life. I feel like you want to be free. I know, psychics are supposed to say, this is what you do, but I'm not that psychic. I just want you to know that there's no right or wrong answer. It's what you really, really want that matters. You matter. Okay. I know. I feel like you go through the feeling of, what do I feel? And then you go, well, how is this going to affect everyone? You matter. First and foremost, you matter. Please honor your feelings and know that this is a very sensitive time to be dealing with that. But I feel like you're not in a rush because you feel still. There's a stillness in you, and it's supposed to be there. So my advice is to take your time and please do whatever it is to honor you, because you have that stillness now. You have that time now. It feels like Spirit has just taken all kinds of activities away from you so you could sit and be clear. And I feel you are clear. If I said, are you going to change your situation? Yeah, you are. You're going to change it. I can feel it. Either inside this relationship or outside. You are in control. And I feel like I think you're going to do it. I think you're going to have a really, really good year ahead of you. And I feel like you know the answer to what direction you should take. It's not what you should do, what you should feel. It's really about what do you feel and what do you think? What do you want to honor with yourself? Because you've sacrificed a lot. And Spirit just wants you to know you matter. You are precious, and it's what you want. There's no guilt should be around that, okay?
Okay.
And as soon as you do make that decision, as soon as you take a step and go, I want this, then everything just kind of falls into place. And everything should fall into place because you're being true to yourself. You're giving yourself the freedom to be true. Okay? Does that make sense? I sure hope so.
Do you have any information? Any way of knowing the older gentleman's name by any chance?
The one that showed up?
Yes.
Let me see. It's a very simple name. It's a very simple name. A very American, very simple. There's an E in it. I know that there's an E in it. And I feel like he's on your mother's side. He's from your mother's side. And you have his smile.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Medicine for Your Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Namaste, everyone. Merry Cosmos and Happy No Fear New Year. It's going to be a big one for everyone. So I've come on today, I'm in a very mischievous mood. As you can see, I've got my little elf Santa pants, whatever, jumping around. I woke up this morning and out on my decking here down in Australia on the summer solstice here. I know Northern Hemisphere is in their winter solstice. I saw a crow, 2 crows, being bamboozled by 2 willy wagtails, tiny little birds. And with the crows, or the ravens, you call them ravens in the Northern Hemisphere. And it was just so funny to watch the stubbornness of the crows and the willful, annoyance of the beautiful willy wagtails trying to scare the crows off. So that was the first thing I saw this morning. So it was quite beautiful to watch and funny. And then I went to the front part of my house and here was a massive, big green tree frog. It had just finished laying thousands of eggs in this big pot that I was about to redo for our season here. So I can't touch it because there's future green tree frogs in there. So we've got lots of creative energy around, lots of excitement, lots of momentum, lots of new things, new birth, new growth. This is what this season can be about, the festive season. Yes, family and connection, but also looking at where we've been, where we're going, how we want to be ourselves in what's coming up. So I have a caller, Joni from, I missed out where she was from, Texas? Iowa. Joni from Boone, Iowa. How can I help you, Joni? Hello. Merry Cosmos to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you also. So I was just wondering if there are any messages from my husband for me or my kids.
So your husband's passed?
Yeah, 6 months ago, this past Friday.
Okay. So I will pull a couple of cards for you. I don't normally work with the mediumship stuff. Mm-hmm. The reason is we can connect ourselves to that. So I think I will just give you some messages for you and your children from...
Okay, otherwise I would just do like a general type reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
You happy with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So let's see, coming into this next 2 weeks, so finishing off 2023, stepping into 2024. The first thing coming, before I've even pulled a card, the first thing coming through is tying up loose ends. Really important to tie up loose ends. And right now it is a really good time to start shedding, like a snake sheds its skin. When a snake sheds its skin, what it's doing, the new aspects of itself, the new skin is already in place. And as the snake sheds, the whole old skin comes off, even the lenses over its eyes. So it's a time of shedding for new beginnings, new visions, new ways forward, new sights, new inclusivity. So that's the first couple of things that popped in when I was just tuning in. So we've got Joni, general messages for Joni from beyond for these next couple of weeks for this season of goodwill, generosity, introspection, reflection, creativity. Okay, here we go. This is for Joni. First one I'm getting for you, Joni, is higher choices. So coming into these next few weeks, it's always taking the higher road. I want to say taking the higher road, higher choices, higher consciousness, higher awareness, higher intentions. So whatever it is, often I'll put it this way, often we get trapped in a particular way of thinking and we don't pay attention enough to what we're actually thinking or what we're saying or what we're doing. And we go into this repeat cycle. For things to change, for things to open up, for things to be more expansive, more creative, more spacious, we need to choose something higher. So an example of that would be, this is just an example, I'm not saying this is where you're at. So a person could have a job and they're saying, oh, I'm really tired of this job. It's not challenging anymore. It pays my bills. I know what I'm getting week to week. But, you know, I suppose I'll just stay there. I should be grateful, but it really annoys me. That's sort of a thought that we would often have. And a higher thought would be, a higher choice thought would be, I've had this job, it's taught me a lot, I've met some really great people, I've learned some new skills, I've learned a lot about myself, and now I'm ready for the next growth spurt or the next expansion of myself. And I'm ready to explore what else is there. So I'm going to align with something better or something more or something that is ready for me. That is like a higher choice. So what we start to do is we lift our energy by the thoughts, amplifying our thoughts. We lift the energy, much higher caliber. So we start to direct more of what we want for our lives. So this is about really looking at what you want for yourself, your children, and starting to think about it in the ways that that's where what you're aligning to, what you're attuning to, where you want to be. That's the first thing. The next one coming up for you is passion. This is beautiful energy of Pele, the goddess of volcanoes. So this is the fire, it's all within you. I love this so much because the thing is, when we see a volcano erupt, what's coming out of it is something from deep within the earth. That magma is flowing up and out. So it's coming from deep within. So it feels like it's nearly, not quite, but it's nearly time for you to start looking at what is going to get you know, jumping again. What's the passion? Where are you going to put your energy, your creative force? We need to start tapping into a way to bring that up because it makes you feel better. I'm hearing it straight away. It makes you feel better. So it's nearly time to start looking at what is it for you that you would like to be doing that's going to get that internal fire going again and that joy de vivre, so to speak. So that's something to look at over the next couple of weeks. What you would like to start pulling into your life or engaging in that's going to elevate you and bring you joy and happiness. And I want to say, and I don't mean it in a way that you don't have a purpose, but more you expressing your purpose, you expressing you in ways that are joyful. That's sort of what I'm getting with that. The last one here for you is strength. Now, this is something that you probably gained a lot of, especially if you've been through this situation. I'm sorry to hear about that, about your partner. But strength, the light at the end of the tunnel, and this is a really beautiful message. The light at the end of the tunnel, you're coming through it. And yes, it's been tough, and yes, you've had to learn a lot, and yes, you've had to grow a lot, and yes, a lot's been placed on your shoulders. But who is the person that you've become because of it? You know, this is when we learn our true strength and our true abilities and our true capabilities, it really takes us into a different level of self-value, self-respect, and self-honouring. So strength is not something that's inherited. It's something that we earn. Strength is not something that's gifted to us. It's something that we have to methodically work through, and we start to reveal it. It exists within us. And if there's one thing that the whole planet has had the journey of in the last few years, that's the journey of inner strength. It's through resilience. All the crazy stuff that's gone on, we've had to pivot, we've had to shift direction, we've had to open our minds, we've had to find new ways. This is all part of strength. When we lose someone dear to us, close to us, a loved one, a person who's important to us, we have to draw on a lot of inner strength to carry on for those who are still there with us, our dependents, our children, our family members. So there's a lot of strength in you, and it means it's what it's going to do. It's going to carry you forward quite powerfully into 2024. And I feel like I really want to pull one more for you. The strength to keep your heart open. I knew there was something else. Look at this. The strength to keep your heart open. And you've probably given a lot of time to your children and your family and supporting them and being supported. Now it's time for you to start looking at what's for me now. And it's going to be okay. You've got the strength and you've got the open heart. It's time to open your heart up to yourself and to what else is being offered to you. So that's your message for the next few weeks. I hope that's helpful for you.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. So that's your little message. So good luck with all of that. And yes, it will be a challenging festive season. This is the first one. So stay in the heart and know that beautiful, your partner, he lives on energetically with all the memories. He's in your children, in you, all the memories, all the energy around Christmas. It'll be a beautiful time to celebrate him as well.
Yeah, we've been struggling a little bit with all that stuff like that lately.
Beautiful. Know that his energy's there. So thank you for letting me do this for you. I hope it's supportive, and have a really beautiful embrace with everyone on this festive season, this Christmas time. Let them give to you and let yourself receive. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Bye. So, as I was saying before the call, it is a really important time to think about where we want to be in 2024. It's going to be a very expansive year for most of us. And as I said to this beautiful caller, Joni, we've all developed so much resilience over the last few years, and we've cultivated a lot of strength. And we're really going to have to move with that as we come into this new year, because it's going to be quite fast. There's going to be lots of change, big transformations everywhere. So being able to stay with the strength that we are, and as with Joni, staying with an open heart, being able to give and receive without barriers, without judgment, without conditions, is a really powerful place to be. It's a very strong place to be in ourselves. So from my humble heart and my soul of service, thank you for, sharing those few moments a week with me, those who tune in. Remember that you are the medicine for your spirit. You have it all. If you would like to connect with me, please come to my website, rayleneburn.com. There's lots of stuff there. If you'd like to have any work with me, it's all there as well. So from my home and my heart to yours and your home and your heart, Merry Merry Cosmos, Happy No Fear New Year, and I look forward to seeing you in 2024. Bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, coming to you live tonight from the city of New York for show number 380. Can you believe that? I've done this 379 previous times, and here it is 380. And more important than that, this is the final show of my 11th year. So not the final show, no, final show of the 11th year. Next week starts year number 12 with Ask One Radio and Reverend Elliot's Magical Window. So this is historic. I don't know if it's good history or bad history, but it's history. That's what they said to me. That's what my ex-wife said to me one day. She said, pal, you're history. And how was that? Next thing you know, I'm looking for a place to live. So here we are. And we're in the middle of winter. We're coming to the end of the year. Gosh, everything's nice. I cleared this with the Colorado Supreme Court. I am allowed to do the show tonight. So if you see, I'll be taking calls legally. I have not committed any crimes that I know of. And if I did, come on, do you think I'd tell you?
I guess what is the only crime I could be accused of at this point would be like interspiritual, interplanetary snooping, because the magical window lets us look at all kinds of things. Now, it would be safe to say, for instance, all this stuff that's going on in the news, my cards told me they would be happening, but no, I'd never look at that stuff. I don't look at it that way. If something's coming up, if something's going to happen, we will find out one way or the other, with or without the cards. But the cards will show us that something is up. I mention this quite a lot because it blows my mind. At the end of 2019, when I started doing year-end readings for people, both on the air and at live readings, person-to-person, individual readings by phone or Skype or Morse code, whichever you want. At the end of 2019, I was getting an awful lot of readings that indicated new starts for people. There were aces, like there's going to be big changes in career, there's going to be changes in your life. I couldn't understand why. That went on into early 2020. And then by March of 2020, when people started getting sick, I realized what the cards had been telling me for the previous few months, that there was going to be upheavals. The old ways would change for a lot of us, and did. Gosh, there were so many people who took the time. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying that with all of these lockdowns that we had in 2020, there would be a renaissance in the arts, but very few people, a lot of people just drank beer and streamed movies. But I do know one person here I've run into who wrote a play, had it produced. So, hey, he had the time on his hands to write the play while he was in the lockdown, and he did it, and he did get it produced. And he shared that good news with me. And see, that's what I meant by new things coming in people's lives. And the cards can show these things. This is why I don't recommend, this is counterintuitive, I know, because, there are people who assume that I make a living just by reading cards for people constantly, it's not so. I do a lot of other things. But I don't recommend a lot of readings for people. I just don't. Then you become dependent on the cards, and then you start to substitute the judgment of the cards for your own. I think it's fun to have readings maybe once or twice a year. Learn what's going on. Like this time of year, at the end of the year, I do that. I usually do a lot of that. I haven't done very much this year because I've been like the Walking Dead. I've been ill. You can tell by the number of shows I missed this year, and I'm going to get to a little perk that you're going to get because of that. But, at the end of the year, it's always good to get a reading to see what the coming up year is like, or maybe see, even, now this sounds strange, but there are people who do this. What was the past year like? Because we may not have noted what's going on around us completely. Very few of us are that aware. I know I'm not, because that's why we use cards, to enhance our awareness. But, there may be some things going on in your life over the past year that you couldn't explain, you didn't understand, you'd want to know more about. We could look into that. That's why I call it the magical window, because you can use this as a window into things that are going on. And I just didn't want to say, Elliot's Tarot Show. I don't like that. I wanted to give it a snappy name. And in fact, I like the name so much that I wrote a book called Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is the kind of book that I wish I had when I started learning to read tarot cards. And you can use that book yourself to learn how to read the cards. I have a special on that right now, which is it's a book dedicated to you, actually. By the way, it's dedicated to the listening audience of Ask One Radio, because you people pushed me into the wonderful world of really delving deeper into tarot than I ever did. And I wrote that book, and here's what I've got. The book is not just a book, but it's a CD comes with it, which has genuine readings that illustrate various points in the book. If you want to learn how to be a reader yourself, this is the book to get, I think. Well, naturally, because I wrote it that way. But also, it had, I always was suspicious of these tarot books. It said, and I read the cards in 1972, and I saw that Nixon was going to resign. Well, it's easy to write that in 1985, but I took actual readings. You'll hear, and you'll see the power of the tarot cards in those readings. These are real readings that we have. No confidentialities are broken. It's just readings. And there's a special I'm giving with that. That book is illustrated with the vending machine tarot. Now, there's a cute little thing. There were little teeny cards that came in a gumball canister, in a gumball machine. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, you could pop a quarter into the machine, turn the crank, and out would roll a little canister and open it up, and sometimes you'd get a Beatles ring that had a picture of Ringo on it, or things like that. Well, this machine used to sell little decks of tarot cards, just the major cards, the 22 major cards, and you can read alone with those. The other cards add a little more depth to the reading, but it can be done. There are some people who only read with the major cards. That's fair enough. And I have reproductions of that deck from the 60s, which no hippie would be caught dead without having a deck of tarot cards at Woodstock, So we still have those. And they come in a gumball canister, and I make them individually for each order. See? So you get them, these are not machine made. You get them right off the assembly line? No, you get them right from me. And that'll come with a little sheet of paper that you can use for the layout, but you'll probably throw that out. It doesn't really matter. But the special now is if you get a copy of the book and CD set, Reverend Elliott's Magical Window, you'll get a free set of the reproduction of the vending machine tarot. I had a very funny conversation with a chef from Louisiana, who thought that I was selling I had it listed at eBay, these cards, and he thought it was an original set, and he offered me a fabulous amount of money for it. And I said, you do realize, of course, these are reproductions that I make on cardstock. And he said, oh, so I let him have it at a very reasonable price. Because you see, the originals would be very expensive. They were kind of cheap, and I would be very surprised if any originals of the tarot deck survived. I have one, by the way. That's how I made this set. You see, I managed to get hold of one, and it's. I don't know how long it'll last, but I've got it, and you can get a reproduction of the very rare and interesting vending machine tarot free while supplies last, which means as long as I feel like doing it, for when you get you see, I'm looking at a deck of them right now. Little teeny weeny little deck here. I have two decks here sitting right there. When you get Reverend Elliott's Magical Window. Now, what I'm going to do also, aside from that, which I mentioned, this is for everybody, because I mentioned I do a lot of private readings this time of year so people can look at the coming year, and I haven't been doing that because I had been ill. If you notice, I missed a lot of shows this year, so I'm going to assume that I did about half of the shows that I should have done. So I have cut my prices in half for readings. You can go to magic-works.com. There on the homepage, or you can look for the page that says tarot reading, and you'll see my prices. Just cut that in half. That's just it. I mean, I had a request the other day from somebody who wanted an email tarot reading. Those are $10. And I answered that it's $5 now because of the sale, you see, so that's pretty good. And I'm going to be doing that until the end of the year. Between you and me, don't tell anybody about this, but I'm going to be doing it longer than that. I feel guilty about having missed all the shows. Of course, I had no choice because I was a babbling idiot with a fever. That doesn't help at all. And I had no voice for much of the last few months. But here I've got it. Now it's impossible to get me to shut up. So those are the two things I wanted you to know. Three things. One, I'm back. Two, it's the end of year 11. We're going into year 12 starting next week. Then the specials with you get a free copy of the vending machine tarot in its own little gumball vending machine gumball canister. I'm shuffling up the cards while we talk. Is that rude of me? And also, my readings are now, when you see the prices at magic-works.com, cut them in half. That's it. I mean, instead of the best deal I've ever given was that $10 email reading, because they go into in-depth in any question you have, and it's only $10. Now it's $5, you see, and you still get the same thing. So that's my way of repenting. That's my way of saying I'm sorry to let you all down by not being here while I was so sick, but I sure missed you, and I'm glad to be back. So it's my gift. And I'm happy to do that. So keep that in mind. You can find out more about what I do at by emailing me if you want at asktaro@earthlink.net. asktaro@earthlink.net. You see how old that this is? I have an Earthlink address. I've been doing this so long. And the website, I've got a couple of websites to go to. One is magic-works.com, magic-works.com. That has 103 pages. There's loads of free magic information there, and there's meditations that you can listen to and download. There's all kinds of interesting stuff there. And the other is mojoacademy.org. That has books and audio and video. Check that one out, because we like to say there is a book there that will change your life. Another one is called the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets.com. And which has, now this is a high ticket item, and it's not for everybody, but I do recommend it highly if you would like to get into serious occult work and magical work. It's the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets, which is a synthesis of many different magical books. You might not want to have all of those books in your library, and this has the meat of all of those, and it's really it's an astonishing thing. It's been around since the 1930s in little teeny books and usually riddled with typos. But Mojo Academy Mojo Brothers Books has restored them, took a year to restore them. And it is now out in normal size books, a set of 10 books in paperback or hardcover. And you can see all the details about that at 10lostbooksoftheprophets.com. And you can get them through eBay. You can get them through Amazon. You can get them directly through that website. There's all kinds of ways to do it. And like I said, it's not for everybody. It's for the person who really wants to get into it. Now, if your New Year's resolution is to get into the esoteric side of the spirituality of the Western occult tradition, you can't do any better than getting the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets. If you really want to get into it, you can grab hold of a set of the Equinox, which that usually, it's in the public domain now, but a set of books like that can run $700-800. Now, we're not talking about that much for the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets. We're talking about a lot less. But take a look at it. It's a little pricey for the hardcover one, but it should be, because you'll have it. That's an heirloom too. But it's reasonable. It's if you get it in paperback, it's under $9 a book. See, and for the 10 books each. So there you go. I just want to let you know about all of that. And, of course, at mojoacademy.org, you'll find all the great Mojo Brothers shaving soap, which if you're really stuck for a stocking stuffer, that's the one. If you might be a little late, but if you want some of those, just check it out at mojoacademy.org. Now, we're all shuffled up, as you no doubt hear. So let's do this. Let's get right to it. Let's get into the readings. I'm going to ring a bell now to declare a sacred space, and that's the space in which we operate and look through the magical window. And now we're going to pull back the curtain on the magical window for our first readings for tonight for Sarah in Oxford, New Jersey. Hi, Sarah. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, hon.
How are you doing, Sarah?
Going through some rough patches, but other than that, good. Getting ready for Christmas.
Well, let's see if we can make it a little better. How's that? What can I look at for you?
Anything, pretty much. Just, I wanted a reading tonight kind of just to cheer me up a little bit, to be honest.
Okay, well, let's see. This is a card that it'll either cheer people up or it'll upset them, but I have a feeling you're going to enjoy it because it's a good reading. The first card I have is the Wheel of Fortune, and that means the way things are for you now, you're at a time of change. Things are going to be changing. Now, of course, now that the next question always is it going to be good or bad change? And I can tell you it's going to be good.
That's good.
Because the next card is the Six of Swords. That is a card called Science. And in some decks, it shows a person getting from rough waters to calm waters through her own efforts. It's moving a boat. It's a person moving a little boat from rough water to calm water. So that you've been working on trying to make things better, and this shows me that you're going to succeed. The next card is the Fool. Now, that doesn't mean you're a fool. That's the card that means the beloved of God. If there were any negative cards in this reading, that card would overturn them. So it's going to be very good for you. Now, I need to ask a question. Are you doing anything new in terms of work?
Yeah, actually, for years I've been in retail, kind of management, and I've been doing housekeeping work. So totally different.
Okay, because what I've got here is the Eight of Coins, and that is a card of a person who is doing something new in terms of work and money, and applies herself diligently to it and is very successful at it. That's why I asked you that question. So that's going to be very good for you this year. The Two of Cups here is a card that usually signifies a new relationship coming, or if you're in a relationship, the relationship you're in reaches a nice new level. So it's a very good sign. I'm seeing the year going to be very good for you. Money is good. I've got the page. Look, I've got the Eight of Coins, the Page of Coins, and the Queen of Coins. And the King of Coins. This is money. Money is all over your year coming up.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, you're either going to rob a bank or you're doing well. By the way, bank robbery is an interesting crime because it's never been worth doing, I might add.
No.
I remember back in the 70s, the first time and this is going to sound peculiar, but the first time I looked into bank robbery, I saw that the average bank robber got like $400 and arrested. Now, bank robbery, I don't know how much the average bank robber gets, but they have the highest death rate of any criminal activity. So I would have asked people to reconsider if they were going to go into bank robbery, and I shouldn't make little jokes about that, but yeah, it's not a good thing to do, you know.
No, but it was a good joke, though.
Thank you. You know, I think I've mentioned this before, but when I was in my teens, I was actually offered a chance to join an organized crime family by a very scary guy thought I would be good at it. And I have no idea why. And I thought it over. And I told him, and I'll never, this is like burned in my mind. I said, you know, the thing is with organized crime, the hours appeal to me. The hours are good, but I don't like your retirement plan. And he just stared at me, and then he just started laughing and laughing and laughing. He said, "You're okay, kid." And I never heard from him again. So, you know, I think I handled that one right. Otherwise, I'd either be, you know, in a Martin Scorsese movie or looking up at everybody from the bottom of the East River. I don't know. But in any case, this is going to be a very good year for you. Really, really good year. Now, let me tell you this. You have some kind of new ideas that you are kicking around in your head. Is that correct?
Yeah. I had one today, but I'm just kind of about starting maybe a cleaning business when I'm done going through some personal stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you that because this is the Page of Swords, and swords are about mental activity, and the page is the appearance of something new. So that's telling me that you have a new idea and a new way of looking at things, and you're going to implement it. And the card after that is the World, which is the card of assured success. So I think you're on a good path here.
All right.
So you're going to have a pretty good next year, and it's laying the plans for what's going to come after that. I'm going to pull one more card for you. Yeah, look, see, this is good. This is the Magician. You know, it's not just the Fool. That's ultra positive, but the Magician is even greater. This is that a person who can draw power down from the spiritual realm here and make it work. So you're a very gifted, powerful person, and you're putting all that to work, and it's going to work out well for you. That's what I see for next year.
That's good.
Okay. Does that help?
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's a great reading. Thanks for calling.
No problem. Thank you for everything.
Bye now. And let's shuffle them up. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with me, Reverend Elliot, the nonstop chatterbox who now and then reads cards for people. Joe in Anchorage, Alaska is next. Hi, Joe. You're on with Reverend Elliot. Joe in Anchorage, Alaska, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
how are
beautiful.
you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. Oh, good.
What can I look at for you?
Good. Well, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've not had this kind of a reading before, so.
Well, what would you like to, is there something you're interested in, or do you just want to see what direction the cards take us in?
Well, I was hoping to hear from the other side if I could.
Okay, I've done that. There are several cards in the deck that when I know that that's the intention, I'll shuffle the cards, and if I get one or more of those cards, then I know I'm on the right track. Obviously, one of the cards is the Death card, another is the High Priestess, which is the person who can see beyond the veil. And if I don't get those cards, I can shuffle them again, or I can just read it anyway and assume that it's a message from the other side. Because I never did that before. You said you've never done this? I never did these kind of readings until I came here and started doing it on Ask One Radio. It never occurred to me to even try. And I tried, and I usually get the same kind of reading, which is interesting. So let's see what we have here. Okay, I'll cut the cards now. And okay, there's the Death card. So we're going to assume that this will be a reading of the afterlife. That's fascinating. You see what I mean about the cards? I don't know how they do that. I've been reading cards since the 1980s, and I've long since given up trying to figure out how they work. So let's shuffle them up. Okay. The Knight of Cups is here. The Lover's here. These are emotional cards. There's somebody very close to you passed on, correct?
Correct. A few.
There's
actually.
Well, let's see what we can find, who we can get into here, see if there's any kind of a message from it. And yeah, see, this is a card that I always get when I do these readings. These are two cards that I get all the time, and I'll tell you what they are. The Three of Swords is a card of great sadness. Great sadness. It shows a heart pierced with swords crying. Now, is that sad or is that sad, right? The next card. Now, I get that frequently here because there's so much sadness involved when people pass on, or let's face it, die. You know, I know people shy away from that word, but there it is. The next card is the Star, which is a card of hope and optimism. And that's followed by the Four of Rods, which is a card of happiness and comfort and joy and a happy home. And now here's a card I get frequently with these readings. It's the Ten of Swords. It's somebody who was having a very, very rough time, and the bad times are over, is what that means. So the message that I get here is, we know that you feel close to us. We're very sad, too, that we're apart. But it's a hopeful time because the soul is growing. And that leads to the happiness of Four of Rods. And the Ten of Swords is about the suffering that this particular person, this particular entity went through is over. There was somebody who had a rough time before passing, correct?
Well, my father would have.
Yeah, see, but because that is a card. I mean, sometimes that card is confused as a card of death, but it's not, and it means that the troubles are over. Six of Rods is about success. So this is generally how these readings go. There's an acknowledgement that this person is close to you, the spirit that we've contacted. There's an acknowledgement of great pain and sadness, yours and the other person too. Then there's the card of hope. Then there's cards of happiness. There's a card of this cessation of pain. That's the main thing, followed by success. And here's one I get often too, which is the Ten of Cups, which is perfected happiness. So whoever's sending you this message, the message is very clear that there's sadness here because you're missed, and they know that they're missed, but they want you to know that they're doing okay, and they're growing, and they're happy. There's happiness there. The Four of Rods and the Ten of Cups are very happy cards. And they all come after the Three of Swords, which is the sad one, which is the sad event is the passing. And everything else after that is happy. That's almost always the way these readings go, by the way. So I'm going to chalk this up as genuine.
Wow.
If you go back to the Ask One Radio archives and listen to any of my shows, you're probably going to hear a similar reading. And this is the way the cards end up going, which is, we're sad, we miss you, we're doing well, though. So it's almost like saying, don't worry. So these are good.
Wow, great.
But the pain is there. There's still, whoever this is still misses you. Let's put it that way. Because of that pain is there, but they're growing. The pain is receding in this little plane. Let me see if I can find one more card that might help out, because this kind of stuff kind of sticks in my throat. I get a lump, you know. It's just. Yeah, this is the Six of Cups. Now that's a fascinating card for this. The Six of Cups is about memory of years gone by. It's a card of nostalgia. It's a card, you know, if we were doing a regular, say like romantic reading, it would refer to maybe somebody from your past coming back into your life. But in this case, we're talking about somebody who was in your life a long time and goes way back with you, and has warm feelings for you. That's the Six of Cups. If you can do a search online and see what the Six of Cups looks like in several decks, you'll see it shows two happy children holding each other. Generally, so this is the message I'm seeing, which is it's somebody from your past who you've known for a long time, who was very close to you, who is saddened by being away from you, but is growing as a spirit and is doing well, is in a happy place because the pain and suffering has stopped. Okay?
Okay.
That's.
Well, thank you.
I hope that helps. It's like I said, these kind of readings almost leave me speechless, you know, because
they're fascinating.
Yeah, and
it has been fascinating.
And it's not the kind of thing I ever thought of doing. You know, it's because it's funny that you said you've never had a reading like this. And until I started doing these shows, and it was several years into doing the show before somebody asked me about this. And I said, let's give it a shot, you know, because hey, I'm game, right? And that's where I realized the first thing I got was like, you know, the death card. And that's what happened here too.
Wow.
One more card is the Nine of Coins. That's a person who is at peace and one with themselves. So that's the message I'm getting, is that the spirit feels whole. But there's still that sadness of being apart. So that's, you know, everything else is happy. Okay?
Well, great. Well, I understand that when spirits pass over, there's a time of learning supposedly, but there's also a great happiness of like being home, being whole.
Yes, and that's why I find, like I said, you can listen to all the other shows. If you pick one at random, you're probably going to hear another reading like this, and they generally follow that pattern, which is there's love, there's warmth, there's sadness, and then there's happiness. And the sadness, of course, is the separation. I'm personally kind of freaky about death. Like, I don't want to die in my sleep, for instance. You know what I mean? I want to know it's happening. You know, that's so. I'd like to experience it if at all possible, but I'm not quite ready for it now. And I've been very close to death several times in my life, and it's a very eerie feeling. And there's a history in my family that is odd. My mother once went to visit her mother in the hospital when her mother was dying. My grandmother was dying. And my grandmother started yelling at my mother and said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Why are you ignoring your father?" Well, this was in the mid-1970s, and my mother's father died in 1925. And her mother was saying, he's right there, and you're ignoring him. And, you know, this really shook my mother's mind. Now, I'm going to jump ahead, because not that many years ago, I think I may have told this story last week, in fact, so rather than, I'm repeating it, but I'll make it a little more brief, but I guess not everybody listens to every show. A few years back, I was in a cheap dive bar here in Hell's Kitchen, and there was a guy named Joe, and Joe would sit there and get drunk. And every once in a while, he would turn and say something to people that would alarm them. And one day, he turned and said something to me, and the bartender saw me and said, "Oh, Joe just told you something about your family, didn't he?" And I said, "Yes." I mean, Joe just said to me, and I didn't really know this guy, Joe. I mean, he was a guy who got drunk all the time. Said, "Your grandfather's very proud of the work you do." And I said, "Oh, yeah, which grandfather?" And he said, "The German one who used to be a publisher." Now, at the time, my wife and I ran a newspaper, and he said he likes what you're doing with the newspaper. We had made a minor sensation. We were in the New York Times and on television because we had uncovered corruption in the local government. So, and, you know, I said, I'm not even sure that my sister knew that my grandfather was our grandfather was the publisher of Vogue in Europe, the European Vogue. Like I said, he died in 25, so we never knew him. I mean, I'm not that old, you know. He died well before I was born. But you see, so I'm kind of, it's kind of spooky about this stuff. And a few times I have been at death's door, and not the least of which was in 2013 when the hospital gave me an infection after supposedly, you know, routine surgery. And next thing you know, I'm in a room with like 6 other people. Everybody died, and then they would be replaced. And there was a nurse there who went berserk. She started crying and said, "I didn't sign up for this." And I was the only one who lived through it, because it had been made clear to me that it wasn't time for me to go. Which, of course, I was in a great deal of pain. So God knows I wouldn't have minded going at that point. But, you know, when the time comes, it comes. So I've been close. I've been around death. And to be able to do these readings, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. But I do them. And they follow this pattern. And I have to, you know, I have a jokey answer. When people say, "Do you believe in life after death?" I say, "Of course I do. Where do you think we are?" You know. But, you know, I don't know anymore. I'm wondering about it. I suppose there's so much evidence.
Well, it's good to wonder.
Yeah.
And ponder, you know. It really, truly is. That's how you grow, too.
Yes. Yeah, that's...
You know,
and growth, each growth is, in a way, each bit of growth we do is like a death of an older version of us, I suppose. And it's just,
yes.
You know, I have a lot of memories, by the way, which always confused my family. I have memories from things that I'm not supposed to have remembered. You know, like we would sit and watch movies on television when I was little, and if it took place like in the 1920s or something, and I would say, as a child, I would say that didn't happen that way, and it would freak them out. I have no idea how I knew what it was, but now the question is, this gets into Rupert Sheldrake, a great scientist who I've stuff about him at my webpage, magic-works.com, my website. That memory is outside of the brain. Memory is not in the brain. He believes that there's a morphic resonance, and that's where memory lies, and we just tap into that. You know, there's a lot to say in favor of that, because there's a lot of times we know things that we shouldn't know. It's like we're picking up somebody else's memories. So I'm just wondering where these come from. But the cards are a tool, and they show me the same thing so often that I believe me, I'm not a card manipulator. If I was, I'd be in Las Vegas instead of doing this. But I have no idea why it keeps happening, but it happens. So, you know, that may be the subject of another book for me. I don't know. I might give it a shot. Well, I better run. I got to take a couple of more calls here. Like I said, you know, I've been.
Okay, well, hey, Merry Christmas and
thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Let's get to New York.
Yeah, from Alaska to New York. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up. New Year's a good time for me because my birthday is a few days afterwards. So I get to celebrate a lot. You know. We're all shuffled up. And Purvi, right here in New York City, is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi. Thank you.
Hi. My pleasure. How are you tonight?
I'm okay.
Well, maybe we can make that a little better.
Yourself?
Let's see. I'm doing okay. You know, I've missed so many shows because I was ill that I just chatter a lot now, so I'm trying to restrain myself. But it's so great to be. I get such a burst of energy from the radio audience and talking that. Man, you know something? Maybe I should have done the show while I was sick. It might have made me less sick. I don't know. So let's get right to your reading before I chew your ear off with the nonstop talk. How's that? What would you like to look at?
I would like to look at my love life.
Okay. Let's see if I can shuffle that up and see what we get. Interesting. Right now you're in a pause. There's a pause here. That's the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is like nothing much happening, really, you know, but you're going to enter a period. Yeah. I'm going to say this as delicately as I can. You're going to enter a period of great sensual delight, okay? Because that's the Nine of Cups.
A period of what?
Great sensual delights.
Okay.
I mean, all kinds of, enjoying all kinds of good pleasures, and I mean, it's a very good sign. I mean, there's only one warning, which is that people are going to be envious of you. You know, and you know that's not terrible, but it's just you're entering a period of great, almost luxury and exciting feelings and romance and you know it's I'm trying to keep this as decent as possible, and success. You know, it's going to be a very good period for you. I mean, you're going to go from a period of the Four of Swords, which is nothing happening really, just waiting for something to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to hear that because I feel like I've been waiting forever.
Well, according to this, you know, that waiting period may be coming to an end because there's a lot of, like, here's the Four of Rods, which is about happiness and joy, and there's the card of the Sun, which is health and growth and healing and happiness. It's a very bright time, you know, like the Four of Swords, the period of waiting is kind of dark, but there's a bright time coming for you. Now, here's something that's interesting. There's somebody who's interested in you, This is how I always interpret that card. The Four of Cups. It shows a person looking at 3 cups and doesn't notice a 4th cup off to the side, being handed out from a cloud, which means it's mysterious. Then that generally means there's somebody who's interested in you, but that person hasn't made these feelings known yet. So keep an eye out. There may be somebody around you who's just a little shy, but you see, now, here it is again, the Ace of Cups. That's the beginning of romance, happiness, joy. All these cards show me that there's a period of great enjoyment and happiness coming your way shortly, because I've got the 8 of rods here, which means it's on the way. So this all comes after that card about waiting. So that waiting period is about to end. That's the way I look at it. I mean, these are all really good, happy, solid cards. And the thing is, there's a preponderance of cups, and cups are about the heart and emotions, and that should be good for you.
Well, I just have waited so long that I am seriously concerned about, fertility.
Yeah, well, let me see what I can show you. There's cards for that too, which is like, okay, this is a little bit of this is pushing it along. Okay, the Page of Cups is the same thing. The Page of Cups is the appearance. It's not theoretical. Like if it was the Knight of Cups, it would be a theoretical thing. The Page it's right here. It's down to earth. It's real. The Empress, believe it or not, that's the card I was hoping to find. The Empress is a card of fertility. If you look at many tarot decks, you'll see it shows a woman surrounded by fruit and vegetables, and wheat. This is all about making things grow. It's a card of fertility. It's a card that a lot of people don't want to see, by the way. But you mentioned that, and there it is. Now, the 3 of Cups is here, which is also a card. Cups again. All these cards are about romance and emotions and feelings. The 3 of Cups traditionally indicates in this kind of a reading that it's somebody you're going to meet through friends.
Oh, okay.
So, but keep an eye, because I'm sure that there's somebody around you who's interested and hasn't let you know yet. So,
well, my problem is I don't ever feel drawn to or interested in anyone. I feel like I'm not in a place where I'm allowed to grow.
What is stopping you, do you think?
No, I mean with the person.
Oh, okay. Well, it can be hit and miss. I mean, I was married once, and it didn't even last 2 years. Married again, and we're heading into 40 years now. So.
Oh, wow.
You keep trying. Either I've developed a severe lack of curiosity, or we hit it off very well. So who knows? But. You see, now, here you go. The High Priestess is here. That's an interesting card. That shows that you're a person of deep intuition, feeling, spiritual depth. And I think that card then showing up now is telling me to let you know that you should trust your feelings. And don't, if you don't feel drawn, then you're not, right? So I just think that this, I'm almost speechless, because this next card is about what I was going to say. The next card fits in with what you want. The next card is the 10 of Cups. That's about happiness in a home, and it shows people with children, and everybody. It shows you're going to attain that. When the time comes, you'll attain it. Okay. But I think. Go ahead.
No, so you can finish.
No, the period of waiting is coming to an end. Is the way I see it. In fact,
it's interesting.
Yeah, I have the tower struck by lightning here, which means it could end fast. And here's the star. The star is also another card of fertility. It's about hope and optimism, but it shows a little bird in a branch in a tree, and that is generally believed to be representative of the soul of the child about to be born. So there are 2 cards here showing fertility, and many cards showing happiness. It's coming your way. It's just taking longer than you want, obviously, but it's coming your way, okay?
Mm. Well, I think that it's interesting that you mentioned home, because that has been, it's a long story. I won't go into all the details, but that's been a very, like kind of the bane of my existence. Mm-hmm. I feel like it almost feels like my life is just survival mode. I'm surviving, and that's it.
Well, I see that changing. Do me a favor, because I've got to run, and I need to try to get in another call. But go to askoneradio.com tomorrow, or anytime after tomorrow, and listen to this call. And listen and picture the cards, because I'm telling you, this is what you're looking for is coming. Okay? I mean, I've got it right here again, which is the 10 of coins, which is all about that.
Hmm. Okay.
The 10 of coins is about it. Okay? So I've got to run.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye now. And Julie in Apache Junction, Arizona is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliott.
Hi there.
Hi, Julie. Let's see if we can get you in here. We've got a few minutes left. What can I look at for you?
Relationship.
Okay. Let's shuffle them up. Oh boy. Are you married? Because if not, you're going to be.
Yes.
How's that?
I am.
I am. Okay.
Yes.
That's the first thing the cards, because it's kind of odd when there's a reading and they want to know about relationship, and I say, oh, you got a great relationship coming your way, and I find out the person's married. But the card I got is the Hierophant, which is a card of marriage, which tells me that you're in a relationship now, in a marriage. The Sun is here. That's a card of healing and health and growth. Have there been things that you had to work out in this marriage that have been like...
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah, well, this is telling me, and that's followed, by the way, by the 3 of Swords, which is a card of sadness. So what I'm getting is that there have been some problems in the marriage. There's a good chance it'll work out. The High Priestess is here, which I just had for the previous caller, which indicates a very spiritual and intuitive person, so you know what's going on. You feel it, and you should go with your feelings. But what I'm seeing is that your relationship is entering a new phase. The 6 of Swords is here. That's getting from where you are to where you want to be. You don't have to tell us what that phase is. Whatever, there's something you want, and you're going to go after it, and you're going to get it. That's the way I see it.
Awesome.
The 10 of Swords is here. The 10 of Swords means that the bad times are over. It looks to me like you're working your way through it. Whatever way this goes, it's going to be best for you. How's that?
Okay. That's good.
You see, the Death card is here, which doesn't mean you're going to die. It just means that the one phase of your life is coming to a close and another phase is beginning, which is why I say there's changes coming, and that's followed by the 6 of Swords, which tells me that the change that's coming is the change that you want, and it's a change that you actively want and are working toward. So whatever, like I said, you don't have to get too personal with everybody listening, but what I'm seeing here is you know what you want, you're working on getting it. Here's the 3 of Rods, which is waiting for results. And you're very spiritual, because that not just the High Priestess, but I have the Magician card here. And of course the Hierophant, which is the card that led me to believe that you were married, which was, that's also a spiritual thing. So there's a lot at work at play here. It's not a simple situation, but you're going to get what you want, and you're working at it, and it's showing up. Okay?
Awesome.
I will light a candle.
you.
I'll light a white candle after the show to send you some positive energy. How's that?
That would be amazing.
Okay, I'll do that. I've got to run now.
Okay.
Hey,
Thank you for taking my call.
my pleasure. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And folks, that's it. You've come to the end of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, year 11. We've just rounded off year 11, and we will be back next week with the beginning of year 12. I hope I sound like I'm a 12-year-old. I don't know what that means, but gosh, it's been so long since I've started doing this that I get edgy when I don't do it. And I get so much energy doing it, and I hope it comes across that I really enjoy our time together, or I wouldn't have been doing it all these years. Gosh, hey, Dave sent me a message here, said if the producer, if this was high school, I'd be a senior now. You see, I knew one day I'd be a senior. It's not like my Social Security check doesn't tell me that every dang month, I'm a crotchety old man. Jeepers creepers. I'm completely a senior, huh? I'm old, let's face it. I mean, I was born old. Let me put it that way. I mean, I'm old at heart. And like that's what I'm saying. I'm convinced I was here in the 1920s and the teens. One day I'll tell you how I was injured in World War I. Long before I was born this time around. But that, as they say, is for another day and maybe even for another book. But until we meet again, I just want to remind you, my website is magic-works.com, MAGIC-works.com. And that has 103 or 4 pages of fascinating stuff. mojoacademy.org. There's a book there that will change your life. I seriously think you might want to consider one of those books there. There's loads of books about all kinds of esoteric subjects. You can even learn how to hypnotize people. So I got to get out of here in 8 seconds. So remember, what you are, I almost got that backwards, right? What you are is the universe's gift to you. What you become is your gift back to the universe. See you next week. Bye-bye now.
Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Larkin Psychic Medium with Larkin. Live from larkinbigsight.com/website.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Larkin Psychic Reading
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm so excited to be back here live with you all this evening. We have 15 minutes of amazing time together. And last week, we were talking about what other realities there are out there and how important it is that you become aware that your loved ones are really there with you, that your spirit guides are always right there beside you, and that you too have these abilities and can communicate with them. Now today, if you guys have questions about, your angels or spirit guides, so remember on here, the questions we are taking are questions like, how can I tell if it's my angel or my spirit guide? Here are some signs I've been getting from my angels and my spirit guides or my loved ones. How do I know? Are these really them coming through to me, or am I making this up in my head? Because I want to make sure that you guys understand how this stuff really works, and that your loved ones, angels, pets who have passed on, spirit guides, animal totems, animal spirits are always right there trying to guide you, trying to get through to you, okay? And I know everybody always they want a reading like, what is it? Tell me what I need to do, or should I take this job or that job? But the truth is that spirit comes through. Most of us psychic mediums, instead of giving you the answer as to what to do, spirit likes to come through and help you to become empowered to make those decisions, to hear the guidance they're giving you. So for example, you might want to know, should I take this job or shouldn't I? What spirit really wants to teach you is how to feel which job to take, how to read the signs, how to get the inner strength to say no to the job you don't want that maybe you feel pressure to take, right? What your animal loved one really wants you to know is, hey, you really did take care of me. Hey, I'm still here and I love you, right? I want you to be able to feel my presence, feel my gratitude, feel my love, right? So the questions that you actually ask are so much more important than the answers you come seeking. And the answer that spirit gives is not always the answer that you want. It might not even be the answer to the exact question that you are wanting to hear. But what it will be is the answer or the guidance that actually serves your highest good, that actually serves the situation best, right? So it might be like, how can I stop people from being mean to me? And maybe what spirit really wants to tell you is you need to learn to love yourself. And that's not always an answer that we want to hear, right? But one of the things I want to remind you all of today, extending from our beautiful conversation last week, is that spirit can see and feel and hear and sense what you're going through. But spirit also knows where you're coming from and where you've been, okay? So spirit also wants to guide you into how to make the best choices for yourself, okay? So that's what we want to focus on today. And if you guys have questions about anything metaphysical and how this works for you, feel free to call in and we can answer your question and guide you to tuning into those answers for yourself as well. Okay. So one of the things that comes through for people is they get dreams, or they'll get messages from nature, or they'll get messages from spirit guides and angels in ways that are sometimes so obvious and so comfortable and so familiar to them that they don't even recognize it as an actual message from spirit. Okay. Sometimes it is something so obvious. It might be a message on a license plate. It might be a song that comes on the radio. And oftentimes we're so consumed with thinking about what it is we want to know the answer to that we actually miss the wisdom and guidance that is coming through. Okay. So this is another thing to keep in mind if you guys are trying to figure out, am I getting messages? Is anybody talking to me? Does anybody hear my prayers? Is anybody listening to my plea for help? And the answer is yes, they all are listening. They're all listening. Okay. I understand that we have a caller. Hi, Vinny, I believe from Australia. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi. What can I do for you tonight?
How many questions I can ask? Firstly, I would like to know, I have a bit of trouble with financial at the moment with the tax and stuff. Do you think I can get through this easily or not?
Well, so I'm seeing the number 3 and I'm number 6, and that usually indicates for me a period of time. And I want to remind you that as you're asking your question, you bring with you the guidance of source and spirit that is trying to guide you. So whether it's angels, spirit guides, and loved ones, they all have the same message because they can all see where you've come from and where you're going to. One of the things I'm seeing is that you do have 3 to 4 options available to you coming your way. And the question is, are you aware of those options? And are they things that you're unwilling to do? Because what I'm seeing is that you are going to have some relief to your financial situation in about 3 to 6 months. But I'm also seeing that in order for that to happen, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. So whether it be that you're going to have to go into an area that perhaps is new to you and maybe not so familiar, but it's something that you're going to end up liking, in other words, I see that one of the things that could prolong the relief to your financial situation is actually your inability to make some choices that you need to make. So it looks like if you can take a couple of small steps out of a comfort zone, whether that be a new area or maybe a schedule or a distance for work that maybe you think you don't want, that things will turn around and work out for the better because you will be actually changing your frequency. And when we raise our frequency, we invite more abundance into our life. It looks like you're actually coming out of a lower period. So our life often, it always has these ups and downs. And sometimes they feel like they last forever, but it's not going to be lasting forever. You do have things coming your way that are going to be turning things around. But remember, I'm being asked to remind you about this. It starts with you. So what I'm being asked to share with you is when we get off of here tonight, think about what is it that I'm not doing that I can do differently to really shift my vibration. Because as soon as you shift your vibration, what I'm seeing and feeling around you right now is so many support systems. Loved ones, spirit guides, angels cheering you on. And they're all saying to you, like, do something different. Go that way. Shift your focus. Because as soon as you do that, they can all get on board. And they can say, okay, we're behind you. Like, let's do this. But you have free will. So somewhere in there, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but there are some decisions that you have not clearly made for yourself that will actually allow you to get over this hump. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Does that make
I have someone close to me. Yeah, that I always ask about everything. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But it is up to you because you do have free will, and they do want to support you 100%. They're literally, like, I'm not exaggerating. I can see and feel and hear them all rooting for you, and it's giving me chills. How much love and support that you actually have behind you. So what you really need to do is take that deep silent time. And if this were not what was coming in very clearly, Vinny, I would not be sharing this with you. Get off of here tonight. Do it right away. And just say, okay, radically honest with yourself. What is it I'm not doing that makes me uncomfortable? What choices have I not wanted to make? What is it I've been unwilling to do? Because that, my dear, is the block between where you are and getting over this hump. And when you do that, you're going to feel such a rush of like motivation and inspiration, and you're going to be so grateful that you did. And I see we got 60 seconds left, but you know, if you can do that within the next 3 to 6 months, I see things totally clearing up and opening up for you. And your life 6 months from right now can be entirely different and more relaxing and enjoyable than it is right now. Okay, is this helpful to you? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Gonna do. Yes. Okay. I would love to hear your feedback. We have about 30 seconds left. So I want to hear back from you in a few months. I want to hear how things are going for you because I know you can do this. Okay, Vinny? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sure.
Thank you for calling. You're welcome. And for everyone, I know this time goes so fast. It's hard for me to do readings so fast because there's so much stuff that comes in, but I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I want you all to remember that you have a support system beyond what you can imagine behind you. You don't have to sense it with your physical senses right now. Just believe, ask for the validation that we talked about last week. Allow yourself to sit quietly and know that they're there for you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful rest of your week.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Maria Leggett's Medium Show with Maria Leggett. Live from MariaLeggett.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Maria Leggett's Medium Show
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, December 28th, or December 27th. Oh my God, don't push the year. My name is Maria Leggett, and I am coming to you live from Dayton, Ohio, and I'm super happy to be on here with all of you. I hope everybody had an amazing holiday, whether you celebrate Christmas or Yule or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah Whatever your chosen holiday is, I hope you have had a fabulous and wonderful season. And I hope you were all surrounded by people who loved you. And if you were alone, please know that your crossover loved ones on the other side were there with you, celebrating you and loving you and surrounding you with their own gifts from the other side. And hopefully you were able to see some of the signs that they were around. Thank you for joining me tonight. I want to talk about, I have a root chakra class that I've just released, and it's absolutely amazing. And if you don't know anything about the root chakra, I have a free chakra basics so that you can begin to learn about your chakras. So are you ready to dive deep into your chakra system and unlock the secrets of your inner self? Look no further than my amazing root chakra course. You can find this course at templeofthesacredcircle.org. It is under spiritual education, and it is an absolutely wonderful course that's going to teach you the stage of development of your chakra, because each chakra begins at a different stage in your life. And the root chakra is where it all begins, which is why it is the first chakra. And we'll talk about the stage of development, what can affect it during the development, and all of those things that we carry epigenetically down in our RNA, in our bodies, and the things that we agreed to do when we came in here for our soul contracts. And you're also going to be able to learn what you can do and how you can use herbs and crystals to help you walk through opening up your crown chakra, your root chakra, and allowing you to feel safe and comfortable in this world. The root chakra is all about your safety here in this world. And do I belong? So it's a sense of belonging. So I want to welcome Tammy to the show. How are you this evening? Oh, Albert Lee. Okay.
Yes.
Tammy, yes.
Good.
How are you?
Yep. Good. What's that?
How may I help you this evening?
Oh, I was just wondering, I'm kind of I have a question, career and relationship wise, because I just got out of a relationship and now I'm in the last phase, and now I'm hopefully starting a new career, and I don't know, I just need guidance, hopefully, or.
Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. It's interesting. As soon as you start talking, I hear the word rebirth. You're in a phase where you're rebirthing everything about yourself. And Spirit is showing this to me as though both of your relationships before, the work relationship and the personal relationship, were not beneficial to your spiritual growth and your emotional growth. Does that make sense? They were both holding you back.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
And you are now at a space where it's as if somebody has taken the weighted blanket off, and now I can breathe. I can actually breathe, and I don't feel so claustrophobic. I couldn't think of the word. I don't feel so claustrophobic. I can breathe, and I am grateful for this. I'm sorry?
Peace, yeah. Yeah, finally, have peace around it. I miss them around, but I'm grateful for the peace that I finally have. So
yeah, and they're showing it to me as though, remember when you are in that I miss mode and those emotions, that Spirit is showing it to me as though what you really miss is the companionship more so than the actual person. And to know now that you have cleared that energy out, it is time for you to take a pause for at least the next 6 months and just breathe. And try not to sit down and start manifesting who's the next person. Because they're showing me that there are things that are important for you to begin learning about yourself. Learning, what do I like to do in the peace and quiet? Where do I want to go for dinner without someone else telling me where I have to go? What do I enjoy? Learning who you are as a person outside of a relationship is really important for you, because it's also going to be able to help you professionally in that you're finding who you are. And in order to find who you are, it's going to help you find your path. And the path has only become...
Starting a new job is a good thing as well?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting, though. I want to tell you that the job you're starting is going to be an interim job between this and the next thing that you're going to be ready for. And it's not like it's a short period of time. It's at least a year, but it's not the final place that you're going to land forever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. It's not something I'd want to forever, for sure.
Yep. Nope. It's definitely not your permanent landing place. Yep. It is something temporary to get you where you need to be. And Spirit says that it's really important for you to begin trusting that they are going to provide you with the abundance that you need, and to be able to sit down and go, okay, here's what I need to make my budget this month. Bring me at least this much. And they'll make sure that you always have what you need to cover your basics. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. That's good to know.
Yeah, because they're showing it to me as though, things are different since you don't have another person sharing with some of your bills. And it doesn't feel like everything was half and half anyway, but it feels as though you would definitely miss some of the input. Does that make sense?
Right. For sure.
And so they just want you to know that just to keep manifesting, financially, this is what I need this month, and trust that it's always going to be there for you. Because they're showing it to me as though this is you've kind of gotten used to this, because sometimes you'll run things a little close, but magically the money always appears when it needs to. And they're happy to continue doing that for you. Yeah. And they're happy to continue doing that for you because you're grateful for it every time it happens. They show it to me as though when it happens, you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I can't believe it happened again. This is amazing. And they want you to continue sitting in that, saying thank you. And that's why they always do it, because it's not an expectation. It's here I am in this bind, and then boom, they will always take care of you. And continue to be open to receive from different paths, different areas. And I don't know why this is important, but they're showing me to be open to speak to people in like coffee shops. I mean, I go and get tea every day, so I'm always in a tea shop. I don't know why I go do it every day, but I do. And to be open to talking to strangers, because it is a way for you to become comfortable using your voice more rather than trying to hide back in the corner. And it's really important that you start recognizing that you don't have to be shy and be quiet all of the time, to just start coming out and saying hi to people randomly, because you never know who you're going to help on the other end of that hello. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I will. What other question do you have?
Well, how about like for my daughters? Like I have 2 daughters, and I just always worry, especially about like the oldest one. And do you have any guidance or anything to like help me to help better everything for everyone?
Yeah. Let them see you. Let them see you be vulnerable when you need to be vulnerable. Spirit is showing it to me as though maybe when you were a child, but somehow along the way, you were taught that it's not okay to be vulnerable and show your feelings to the younger people. We have to be strong for them. Being strong for them can also include being vulnerable and letting them know that it is okay to have emotions. It is okay to cry, and not to say to them, we have to be strong, girls, don't cry. Allow them to cry, because it's important for them to be able to speak the things that they want to speak. Because there will be things that will come in the future. And if you allow them to be vulnerable and speak their truth now, later, when it becomes really important, they're going to know that they can come to you and you're going to be a safety zone for them in order to share what they're experiencing at school and with boys and with any partner that they may come across, knowing that you're going to be open enough to allow them to be vulnerable with you and trust you with that information. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I've been trying to be for the most part. And unfortunately, they haven't seen me as like my vulnerable, and they have been strong for me.
Well, and tell them, you don't have to be strong for me. You know what? We can cry together and it's okay. Right? And make yourself a cup of tea and make them a cup of, whatever it is that they like to drink. My grandson likes to drink tea, and so does my granddaughter. And we can just sit there and, watch a movie and put on something where you can cry together and make it something that you do together as a family. It's just important for them to know that the nucleus of who they are isn't shifting, even though their home is shifting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can do that by making sure that you stick to a routine, like a specific bedtime for one and then a bedtime for the next one. And then making sure also, Spirit is showing me that you set aside at least a half an hour a week to spend with each one of them alone to do something that they want to do, whether it's a game or something else like that, and allow them to know that they are just as important now as they were before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure they still know that. Yeah, it's still good to remind. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for joining the show. I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad that you called in. I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you have an amazing new year. Thank you so much to everyone who's here on the show. Thank you for joining me this evening. If you would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can go to marialeggett.com right down here below. And if you're online listening, it's marialeggett.com, MariaLeggett.com. Have an amazing new year, everybody. Take care.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. I hope you're all having a really good week. We've got a beautiful day here today in Melbourne, Australia, and I have a lot of crows outside in my backyard, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but crows do symbolise intuition. If you have ravens around you, they look very similar. They look similar to me anyway. And they symbolise, new beginnings and spiritual growth as well. Now, while I'm just waiting for a caller, I'm just going to offer you an exercise that you can do at the end of your day, just to kind of help you process things and try not to hang on to anything or anyone that potentially could have upset you, which, let's face it, that's life. It happens, on a daily basis. And this is just, I'll give it to you in a very basic form. And then, of course, it will take much longer for all of you to do. But it's really just finding somewhere really peaceful and quiet where you can sit down, you can lie down, you can sit. I never lie down because I fall asleep straight away. So my thing is to do any kind of spiritual exercises or meditation sitting up. But just sort of relax in a position that works for you. And it's a good idea to do this at the end of the day and really just sort of focus on anything that might have come up for you during the day that maybe has bothered you or is still now conversation that's nagging you or whatever, all right? And just, do some breathing exercises. Start from your feet and work up through your body, all your muscles, and going all the way up to your head. Do your blood, everything in as much detail as possible, and just see how you feel at every little point. Stop sort of like you get to the knees, have a stop, you get to your stomach, stop, and up to your neck, stop, and then go up to your head. And with each section, just see how you feel when you're breathing in and out in that part of your body, and just sort of release anything that you can be hanging on to with the breath. And because sometimes we can get upset with something that maybe somebody said and we're sort of playing it out in our head, but we can manifest, an illness or something in our throat, because if we didn't, say our bit, or stand up for ourselves, we can feel clogged up here. Because we're not speaking our truth. So it's a really good exercise to do as often as you can at the end of the day is great. If you think this is something that might work for you, please, start doing it. Okay, and I hope you get some positive results out of it. Now, I think I've got Amy on the line. Amy, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How can I help you today?
I'm just looking for anything you want to give me, anything you feel for me.
Okay, all right. So you're just after a general sort of reading, okay. All right, let's see.
I mean, more love if you want to do that.
Sorry, what was that?
I'll go more love life if you want to do that.
Love life, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Let me have a look with your love life. Are you in a relationship right now? Because I feel like there needs to be changes done around your love life.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay, so when I'm getting changes like that, and you're not in a relationship, either try something different. Like, you know, if you feel like you have a type or you keep picking the same kind of person, you're constantly attracted to the same kind of person, maybe try looking out for something different, or choosing somebody that maybe you might not have been drawn to in the past. Does that make any sense for you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I keep in your past relationship, I just keep hearing that they had narcissistic type tendencies. Does that make sense for you?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Okay. And you know, look, I'm being told that you're very much an empath. However, a lot of people would know that narcissists do target people who are empathetic, you know, because we're very emotional, we want to fix them, and it's to our detriment. And I feel like you have wanted that person to change, but the change never came for you. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I keep hearing book smart, and this is for somebody that will be coming your way. Okay, so and I keep seeing the color red, and this color is associated with them, not with you. And I feel like they're very passionate about that kind of thing, but I feel like they're also a very passionate type person and very empathetic. And Spirit are giving me that they love to read, and they're not just love to read, but they're also quite intelligent. All right, so you can get people that are like very street smart, and then there are people that are, you know, very book smart, and I feel like he's very, very book smart. Okay.
Okay.
That's sort of like a clue. All right.
Okay.
You're that type of person. And I'm also being shown that they will willingly like come and just grab your hand to when you're walking and that. All right. So I don't know if that's something that you had wanted in the past in your relationship and you never got that kind of affection in that way that was like open, but they're showing me that this person will be like that, and I feel like he will like scream out kind of thing. He'll be very open about his feelings for you. I feel like they wear their heart on their sleeve. And I feel like this person especially likes to wear sweaters. And I just keep, even the sweater I'm seeing in red. So this could even be like a favourite colour for them. So they're just kind of a few little clues where you can potentially spot them. But, you know, certainly if they like a green sweater, but they have everything else. Can't hold that.
No, I'll keep my eye out. Thank you.
I feel also, I'm being shown by Spirit that you've been praying for this. right? You've been like, please, please, please bring me somebody that I want. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Sure is.
Don't overthink too much, your past, and hang on to the things that have been done to you and said to you. All right. Don't let that kind of stuff keep you up at night. Don't let it make you feel like you're not worthy. All right. Have self-love for yourself, and know that this person will come to you if you value yourself. All right. Now, it's very difficult when you've been in a relationship where somebody hasn't been kind to you, because everything that is said and done with us does hold trauma, within us to various degrees, so Spirit are just saying, don't allow that person in your past. And I feel like there's more than one that has had those narcissistic type personalities. Is that correct?
Yes. There's been a couple, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why in the very beginning of this reading, Spirit will like, try something else. All right, don't go for what you would normally go for. All right, look outside of the box of what you're attracted to. And I'm not just saying physically, just try something different. If you, if you normally like somebody you were attracted to somebody that was sort of, worked out a lot or whatever, try somebody who's, more of a bookworm, who likes to read a lot or whatever, because certainly this person is going to be quite intelligent or just know a lot of stuff, right? It doesn't mean that necessarily that they have a degree or anything, but they're quite worldly. I feel like they know a lot about a lot of things, right? And I feel like I see you just kind of looking at them in wonder, and I do feel that you love to learn off other people. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like this is what this relationship will be like. They will love giving you what you need, and you will value them for that, and they will value what they get from you. Okay, so look, you've got something great to look forward to. Just hold yourself in esteem and know that you are worthy, and just keep saying, I bring this person to me in divine timing with what is correct for me, and just hand it over to a higher power and allow it to come to you, Amy, okay? And just know
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, you deserve it, okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care, Amy.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all again and speaking, with a lovely caller. We always have amazing callers on this show, and I just want to thank A1R Psychic Radio for allowing me to host this show, and to Moonstruck TV. Everybody take care, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul Alignment Mentor with Angie Harris. Live from AngieHarris.org.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our
websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul Alignment Mentor
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome back, everyone. My name's Angie, and I'm your Soul Alignment Mentor, helping you to realign and connect with your highest self. And also, Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrated yesterday or will be celebrating this time of year at some point. I know there's probably some people that might still have a Christmas gathering coming up, or maybe you've already went ahead and had all those. But I want to give you a little bit of insight about what it might be like for your energetic system as you start to be around a lot of people. We as humans we're mostly energy. And so if we think of our actual body as an energetic field, and we think about how our body's mostly made of water, we can kind of correlate our water, the amount of water we have in our body, which is about 70%, to our energy. And so if we think about how water absorbs and it's flowing and it moves and it kind of will either cleanse things or soak up like dirt in some ways, our energy field is like that. And so when we start to get around a lot of people and we kind of especially family members that maybe we don't spend a lot of time with, or maybe we don't even get along with, we can kind of pull in some energetic things that are not aligned with our own energy field, our own highest self. And so being able to understand your energy on a way where you can notice when your energy feels off or when you're in alignment, and then coming back into the alignment of your energy, connecting with your most authentic self, your highest self, which would be your spirit self. And so if you're feeling a little off after you spend time with friends or family, and you're not sure why you feel that way, make sure you do a little bit of energy clearing, whether that is working with an energy healer, like a Reiki practitioner or Reiki master, or even working with an intuitive healer such as myself, where I can look into your energy field and see what might be blocking a chakra, what might be blocking you from getting goals that you want to achieve, or just something that you've pulled in energetically from the people around you that are making you feel a certain way. I know that for myself, sometimes when I get around certain people, I start to feel off. I start to feel like just unbalanced in my energy. And so I have to make sure that I am really coming back and clearing my energetic field, particularly my lower chakras. If you know anything about the chakra system, the root chakra and the sacral chakra are very connected to our family and that energy of the family. So those energy fields might need a little bit of extra attention when you come out of these settings with your family. Make sure you're also doing some heart work where you're realigning with the energy of love and opening yourself back up to receiving guidance from your intuition and the spirit, because sometimes we can get a little plugged up in that area as well, particularly if you get around family that you don't spend a lot of time with or you don't have a lot of contact with. That might feel like you're crossing some of your own boundaries to make sure other people are feeling good. So remember, one, it's okay to say no if you really, truly are not feeling as if something isn't aligned with your highest self as you are trying to improve your life or reach a goal. And two, to keep your energy clear in those times where you do have to participate in something that might not be completely aligned with what you would like for your life. And so a lot of people that are spiritually minded have to keep this in mind when they get around other people that maybe aren't spiritually aligned with how they understand the world or understand themselves. So make sure that you take this time as we move out of this season to just rebalance your energy, realign it, and reconnect with your higher self. So I did want to take a call today to see if I could support anybody. And it looks like we have somebody from New York, and I am Ashante, I believe is how you say that. Ashante, are you there? Am I saying your name right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm surprised. I'm not very good at saying names, so I apologize. Is there something in particular? Is there something in particular that you were calling in for, or were you wanting a general reading?
General reading and more or less my health.
Your health?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to pull a card just to see if Spirit has anything particular they would like to speak with you. I'm kind of sensing that maybe you've been going back and forth to the doctor and there hasn't been a lot of answers for you. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Definitely correct.
Okay. And I think it's been a little frustrating because you're like, when are they going to find out what's wrong with me and how am I going to get this solved? I'm getting kind of, is it something to do with your stomach or your lower stomach area? Or are you like, have you been having some like pain in that area?
I have.
Okay. So here's what's interesting that I'm getting coming through, and this is one of the reasons sometimes doctors are not able to pick up on things that are going on with our physical body, because energy that we hold on, I don't know if you were just listening to what I was saying about the clearing our energy. We pull in energy throughout our life based on our circumstances and the things we've gone through in our lifetime. And particularly, I'm hearing that maybe there had been some early childhood trauma maybe that you'd went through. And this energy, what happens is it comes into our energetic field. And when we haven't released that energy, it starts to manifest into physical symptoms. And then what also happens is doctors can't always pick that up until it starts to manifest fully into maybe a major sickness or illness. And I am sensing that maybe you do have a little bit of stuff going on with like maybe your reproductive organs in some way, but I'm sensing that this is kind of related to trauma in many ways. And so working with a healer that could help you to release this energy that is stored in your lower chakras might be beneficial for you. And also, I feel like there hasn't been a lot of support around you, that you haven't felt very supported. Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It's almost like you felt very like you've had to do things on your own quite a bit. It's not safe to rely on other people. And in many ways, I can understand just from what I'm picking up in your energy that you've kind of had to like become this strong person and kind of make your own way in life. But
since I was young.
Okay. And I really sense that you're in a place where you're wanting to kind of figure out what you want to do with your, like, what is next for me. But all this stuff that's coming up for you, like with your health and all this, actually what I'm hearing Spirit say right now is that your spirit team is trying to reveal things in your energetic system that is wanting to be released so that you can align with the things that you desire. You've felt mostly stuck and very blocked. One, it's hard for you to accept and receive love because it hasn't always felt safe for you. And so that has kind of blocked that flow of energy of actual people that can support and love you from coming in. But it also sometimes will kind of block our manifestations, the things that we really do want to come in. And so we're like, what is wrong? What am I doing that's not right? So I'm hearing Spirit wanting to tell you, like, release a little bit, just a little bit, of the control that you are trying to have over things, and allow your intuition to guide you a little bit more, and get a little bit more in touch with that heart chakra, where you are connecting with your own spirit and with your spirit team. And if you don't have like a deeper connection with your intuition, maybe you can meet with a healer or someone that could help you to understand how to listen to that intuition, because I am sensing that. Are you also, I just heard the spirit say you're seeing numbers, like repeated numbers.
You said repeated what?
Have you been seeing any repeated numbers?
As far as what, like regular seeing it?
Like, are you seeing like a 222 or a 333, or I feel like there's some signs that are popping up around you, and you might be missing them, but your spirit team is trying to get your attention, is what I'm hearing. And it's for the purpose of like opening up and bringing you back into balance, because there's this, you've been calling out a lot. You've been asking for help a lot. Like, where are you, God? Where are, help me figure this out. And I'm hearing your spirit team saying, we hear you calling out and we've been giving you signs, but sometimes like that you have a little bit of fear that keeps you from hearing the direction that you're supposed to take, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay, so your spirit wants, your higher self and your spirit team both want you to know that it is safe to, one, receive love from the people that are healthy to give it to you, but also, I don't know if you know how to do any of the chakra clearings. If you don't, I have a $12 mini course on my website. If you got on angieharris.org, you could get on there and get my mini chakra healing course. And I take you through every single chakra, and there's a sound healing for every one. And I particularly feel like even if you don't get that one, look up something on YouTube or something and start using healing frequencies for your root chakra and your sacral chakra, because I really sense there's a lot of energy blocks in this part of your body, and it's manifesting into illness and sickness, and it's causing a lot of frustration for you. But your spirit team is actually trying to reveal it because it's time for you to heal, is basically what I'm hearing for you. And if this is something you want to continue, you're always I'm offering holiday readings right now at a discount, and you're always welcome to book a longer session with me. Unfortunately, I can't stay on here for too much longer with you, but I do hope that was helpful to give you some direction on what might be going on with your energy field and why doctors aren't able to figure out what's going on.
Okay, yeah, it does give me a lot of insight.
Okay. Well, I am sending you healing energy and love, and I hope that you have a great Christmas and continue to have a great week. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. I will see you all again next week.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from wingsofsoulswithjulie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show, the very last show of the year of 2023. Super excited to be here tonight. And I hope you all had a really wonderful holiday celebration, however you celebrated. I hope it was magical and special. I was lucky enough to have my mom and my daughter spend the night on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, and it's been a while since that happened. And so it was pretty magical for me and my husband. So I hope that you all had a fantastic holiday. And as we get ready to close up on 2023, I hope you're reflecting back on all the things that happened and took place in your life, kind of took stock in that, and look to see what your future holds. I actually took a manifesting class with Vienna Steibold today. And if you guys don't know who she is the one who started Theta Healing 30 some years ago. And I've taken a course from her. And so today I took a course on manifesting specifically for 2024. So I'm really looking forward to using all those tips and tricks and tools to manifest some great things in 2024. And I hope you are too. So, you know, if you've listened to me for any amount of time, you know that I'm not a big New Year's resolution kind of person, but I do select a couple of words every year to get me through my year. And so last year, I believe my word was lucky. And so I concentrated on that word. I think I brought it in from the year before and concentrated on that. So this year, what my two words are, because I can never just pick one. So I've selected two, joy and kindness. So those are the words that I'm going to be focusing on this year of 2024. And it is going to be a big year from what I'm seeing in all the astrology. So, you know, we can all use a little bit more kindness, act with more kindness, and act with more joy and have more joy in our lives. And so, you know, the way that I use these words are just reminders. And, you know, if there's a time that I'm struggling or, you know, having a little bit of a tough day, I just sit back and remember, okay, what were my words? And concentrate on those words and bring them in as much as I can. So I would love to hear what some of your words might be for 2024. So you can reach me over on my Facebook pages at Julie Yeager-Walker Medium or Your Time to Shine, or you can drop me a little note over on my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. And while you're over there, you can look. We have the new website up for the Angel Within retreat that my co-host and I, Melinda Heathcote, are going to be putting on in March 9th and 10th in the Portland area. So if you are there in the Portland area, do come check it out. We're pretty excited about all the things that we're going to be doing during that retreat. But getting back to our topic of our resolution words, do drop me a note. Let me know what your New Year's resolution words are for the year. I would love to hear from you. So with that, we're going to head over to the phone lines. We have Cameron in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Good evening, Cameron, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
What can I do for you this evening?
I would just like to know if you have any messages from my loved ones on the other side that you sent or received.
Sure. Is there someone in particular that you want to speak to, or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Cameron, I'm going to just check in here really quick with your loved ones. And while I do that, there'll just be a little moment of silence, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay?
Of course.
Okay. Okay, Cameron. I just keep hearing the words, keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. You're doing great. So letting you know that they are there with you on the other side and they're cheering you on. And I also was hearing, what was that? What's that song? When the going get tough, the tough get going. So they want you to know that they're recognizing, right, that you're stepping up to the plate, that you are, you're leading that charge. And so they're just basically giving you the thumbs up that, you need to keep moving forward. You need to keep plowing ahead. Even if you get some turbulence coming your way, never forget to just keep moving forward, right? That doesn't mean that you can't feel the situation that you're going through or what that is, but it's a matter of being able to kind of pick yourself up and say, okay, here we go. Let's do this.
Okay.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what else they have to say. Hold on one moment. They're also saying that, you're very smart. They said you're very bright. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They say you have a lot of knowledge to bring to the table and a lot of knowledge to share. So don't be afraid to share that knowledge. They're showing me that sometimes it's almost like, it's like somebody comes in and like pushes you aside and says, nope, Cameron, nope, you need to just kind of move over here to the side. And they're saying, no, you're going to get your time here very, very soon, when it's going to be your time to stand up and say, here's my ideas, here are my thoughts, right? And they're going to listen because you do know what you're talking about. And it's information that definitely needs to be shared.
That's good to know.
Okay. They're taking a pause here, just a moment.
Okay.
They're also saying that what is perceived to be challenges coming up for you are not really going to be challenges. They're going to be deviations, they say. And if you can kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind, it'll be a lot easier for you to get through them. So if you can just look at them from a different perspective, they say, then you're going to be able to move easily through them, because they're not going to be huge things that you can't get through, that you can't figure out. And so look at it. They said, just always remember to look at it from a different perspective, which they say you're very good at doing. You're able to kind of step back from the situation and look at it through different lenses, they say. So that's going to be really important for you coming up in 2024, especially the first part of 2024, they say, to always look at things with just a little bit of a different lens. Okay.
All right.
They also want to let you know that these apparent challenges, they say, as you're looking at them through a different lens, almost look at them through as it's a game, right? Try not to take them too seriously, because the things that are going to be coming up for you are not going to be horribly serious. They're going to be something that if you can look at it through a different lens, you're going to go, oh, okay, I see how this works. And if you look at it through like the child's eyes of like it's a game, it's also going to come, the answers, the situation, what you need to do is going to come to you a lot quicker. They also say for you that if you can get out in nature and take a walk to kind of reset, that your answers are going to come to you a lot quicker.
Okay.
Just because you are that person that is very intuitive, getting out into nature and getting that grounding is going to help you with those situations.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I don't get enough of.
Yeah, right. So yeah, a lot of us don't, right? It's really important to shift our focus a little bit, especially, well, in Australia, you guys probably aren't in winter, are you? Are you in summer?
Summer, yeah.
Okay. So here in the Pacific Northwest, we're in full on winter. So, it's rainy and gloomy. So, it's harder to want to get outside and to get into nature. And so it's really important for you to be able to do that, to be able to ground, to come back to center. And that's when you're going to get your fantastic ideas. They're showing me too, even if you you can use your phone, of course, but they're showing me a notebook, like a little handheld notebook, and something that you can scribble down like an idea or a thought and say, okay, this is what I'm needing to solve, right? So calling in your loved ones and saying, I need to solve this. So as I'm out here on my walk, clearing my head, bring that into me and have that pen and paper ready. So when it comes to you, you can stop and jot it down really quick and then let it go and move on and keep asking the questions. Okay. Because what that's going to do is going to free your mind up to be able to tackle some of those questions effectively.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Well, right now I'm sitting with a notebook and pen. I always sit with one, really. But I might carry one with me.
There you go. Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great way. That's kind of like your type of meditation, right? To get out and clear your head. So that movement is what's giving you that forward propelling motion. And so that's going to help you with some of these situations. And you'll be able to hear your guides much more clearly when you're doing that.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you. That helps a lot.
Good. Do you have any questions regarding any of that?
No, not exactly. But it all definitely resonates.
Good. I'm glad. Okay.
Thank you very much for that, Julie. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Have a wonderful new year.
Yeah, same to you.
Okay. All right. Next, we have Erin in Salt Lake City. Good evening, Erin, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on my very last show of the year.
Yes, thanks for having me.
What can I do for you this evening?
I don't know. I just kind of want, I guess, a general, like what, like with everything that's going on, I just kind of want to know, like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, or because I just don't know. I don't know really what my path is, I guess, kind of.
Okay. Is this centered more around a career or a family life? Is there something specific that you're looking at, or just in general?
Kind of general, but family life too. Also, like, yeah, kind of family in general.
Okay. All right. Let me tune in here and see what I can find out for you. And while I do this, there'll just be a little moment of silence, and then I will be right back with you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, Cameron. What they're showing me is that you're really a bright light. You are Erin. Sorry, I don't know what I said. You are that bright light. You're the bright light that everybody kind of is attracted to and looks up to, even though you don't believe that that is the case. They're also showing me that, like, you are the pillar of the family. It's like you were in the center, and they showed me all of your family kind of gathered around you. And so, the things that you do for the family is very heart-centered. And they're saying, you need to keep going with that. You really are the pillar of the family, and they need you. Okay. They're showing me that you're doing a fantastic job. And it's almost like you've hit like this, like a Y. Like if you look at a Y, it you come to a trail, and then it branches to the left and it branches to the right, and you're standing there and you're looking and you're examining what your options are. They're saying dig into your heart to find out which one is the right course of action, because they say you're going to know. In fact, you already kind of know what direction to go. And so it's a matter of sitting there and saying, okay, if I go this direction, what's that going to look like in 5 years? And feel it in your heart, because you're going to know. If you get this kind of light and airy feeling, then you know that's the direction that you need to go. But if you get this like pit in your stomach and you think, oh my gosh, that feels so heavy and so dense, that is definitely your answer. That's not the direction you're going to want to take. And so they said that you've already kind of done this subconsciously. And so it's just that validation of knowing that you've got good intuition, you've got good gut sense, and you need to follow that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. I hear what you're saying. I just don't. I mean, I feel like the why coming to the why makes total perfect sense. But it's like, but to know, like in my heart, I mean, I feel the same no matter what direction I take, and it's. I mean, because I've been. I don't know which. I just don't know because what it's going on is with my kids. Like I'm not like I've taken it. I don't have kids biologically, but I've raised, I've helped raise 6 kids. I've been involved with 6 kids, and now the youngest one, she's 12, and she's been giving me a lot of hell, and she's just to the point. I mean, she's just so defiant and just so disrespectful, and I just don't feel like I don't deserve the way the treatment that she's been, the way she's been treating me, and the way there's no appreciation, there's no gratitude, no like at all. And I just feel like what has happened is I couldn't take it anymore, and I told her to go, and so now she's staying over. She's with my older daughter right now, but she's been staying with her little sister at her little sister's mom's for the last couple of weeks because I can't take anymore. So I don't know if I should go in. I don't know if I should give up custody of her, go sign my guardianship rights over her, and just or if I should just, I don't know, because I just can't. I don't feel like she don't get it. She's just not, and I don't feel like it's. I mean, it's she's causing. She's just not. I don't know. It's just too much. When she's here, she's just so. She's like. Such a narcissist, it's insane, and she's constantly gaslighting me, and it's just insane, and she makes my mind crazy, and I just don't know what to do. I mean, I just don't know what to do.
Right. Hold on, let me ask some questions here. So I'm being shown that you should be a little hesitant as far as signing over some guardianship. It's more about letting her know that you're still there, right? That you will still love her. Because what she's having problems with right now is being able to love herself. And so it's coming out and reflecting and bouncing back off of you. And so, that signing over and giving that responsibility to somebody else is showing her, it's almost like giving her the power back rather than you keeping your own power. Does that make sense? You can still have her, maybe she does need to stay with somebody else for a little while, right? But they're showing me that you really should think twice about that before you give that part of it up. That's not going to do her justice in the long run. And so I know that you're trying to look out not only for your own health, right? But you're also looking out for her best interest as well. And so right now, what they're showing me is that, hold off on that. Don't take any action on that right now because it's too early. It's too early in the game to do that, right? If she needs to, like I said, if she needs to stay with somebody else for a while to get a little bit different flavor of life, they're saying that might be enough to kind of bring her back into center. But this is something it's going to take a little time for it to resolve itself. This is not something that's going to that happen overnight, which I'm sure you already know that. But they're saying, keep on it. Keep reaching out. But also, keep your own sanity, right? You have to be able to do things that you can do to keep yourself in good health so that you can care for others.
Okay. Because, and I mean, it's just so, she just, she's going, she's just a lie. She's like caused a scene created a scene and wigged out and just, when I told her to go and I made her leave, she, I don't know what happened between here and where she went, but then she's trying to tell everybody that I abused her. That, I called the cops and everything. The cops came and they said that she, they obviously didn't believe her because the story, the way she was telling it, they never come back. I've never been charged with nothing. Nothing's ever, and this isn't the first time we've had the situation go on. But but now she's cost me. Now my own my son, he doesn't want, he doesn't want me to watch my grandbaby anymore because he thinks that I'm a danger to her because she's went and told everybody that I abused her. Right. So now. So it's like, that's a big deal. When she's cost me my time with being able to spend time with my own grandchild, it's like, I've never beat her. And but for her to create that kind of a lie, and I don't know, it's just insane. And she's running with it.
Yeah, right.
She's like, she's running with it. She's just got everybody convinced, and she's not gonna change, she won't come to she's not going to tell anybody anything different. Like, She got everybody believing it, and she will not be seeing that or have anybody, she's not going to let anybody think or understand and realize how much, that she's lying.
Yeah, right. She definitely has a lot of anger built up inside of her. And, there's definitely some work on her end, that needs to happen. And that, that's a whole nother path I know for you. But Aaron, I do have to say goodnight. We're coming down to the last few seconds of our show. So I want to say thank you so much for calling in. And I hope the little bit of conversation we've had has been helpful for you.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, that does it for me, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Everybody have a very happy new year. Thank you for being here on the last show of the year. Everyone be safe out there and enjoy the new year. We'll see you in 2024.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDSpsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings. I'm your host for the segment, Lady D, and this will be the last show of 2023. So next time I will see you guys in 2024. So we do have a pretty important week, being the beginning of the year. We've also got Jupiter, which is going to be moving direct in Taurus, and that's going to be on the 31st. So that's happening on Sunday. And then we also have Mercury moving forward on the 2nd as well. So that's going to be something that's, really important. It's like we're starting the year off fresh, where we can, plan. The plans should hopefully fall more into place. Mercury will be moving forward in Sagittarius. So there is a sense of fun there, sense of being social, communication, and it's just a sense of, I like Sagittarius. They're very free, they're very youthful, they're very fun. So it's this fun-like energy that's coming in. With Jupiter moving direct, it's going to also help us to, I feel like, not as pulled back, and to help us sort of go through and push through into the new year. We also, we do have, like today, Mars and Mercury are very close together, but they have sort of broken apart a little bit. So them coming up close together can be very strong in our communication. It can also bring out our frustrations. There's also a square with that to Neptune, which is also can be looking at people who are trying to pull the wool over our eyes. But I feel like if they do try to do that, you'll sort of see through it, because we have the try that's with Venus there. So I feel like the planets are sort of working together to help us move through negative transits and to help us through the positive transits that are coming in. There's a positive transit here with Mars and Jupiter. So that's going to feel more stronger, more courage, more strength during this week as well. So I do feel like this week it is going to be quite a good week that's coming up. We've also got Venus, which will also be moving into Sagittarius too this week, and that's going to be happening around the 30th, so around tomorrow. That's going to be moving in from Scorpio into Sag. So there's a lot of good energy that's coming in. I like that Sagittarius energy. It's an energy of freeness. It's a happy Sagittarius, they're very happy people, they're social people, and they don't like to be trapped. They just like to do their own thing, and they like to have fun. So there's all this fun energy that's coming up for you. There's also, I feel like, there's a sense of like new beginnings, newness, being strong in your directions and where you're heading and where you're going, and the plans that you're making for yourself. It's also, I feel like this week too is about being happy within yourself, and and also it's like there's a strength within us all this week that's going to be helping us push through. But I feel like setting like things at a priority and setting certain priorities as well. There's a sense of also being truthful this week that's coming up as well. It's a week where I feel like it's not a week to sort of make stories and tell lies, but it's a week of like truthfulness and being honest. I feel like, because in saying that, it's not about a week of telling people what they want to hear. It's a week of courage and being able to say things in a certain way. And I feel like it's a week of doing things that you really like to do. You might feel like yourself a bit daydreamy this week with the planets and with this, just with the energy that's coming up. But I feel like it's a good thing. I just feel like it's about planning and looking at opportunities that are coming up for you as well. So I feel like this week ahead is going to be a good start to the year ahead, where it's going to be an interesting year that is going to be ahead. But I feel like we're coming into a good start to it for what's going to be a memorable year of 2024, because some big things happening, especially with Pluto changing signs, as well as Jupiter changing signs too, and a big conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus, which will be later on in the year, around April. So let's look at the first caller here. We've got David, who's in Maryland, USA. So hi, David. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you today?
I just wanted to see if there was anybody there to talk to me.
Okay, loved ones that have passed over?
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting a mum or mother figure. Has your mum passed over?
Yeah, my mom passed away.
Okay. And I feel like with this lady, was she very guarded, or she was a protective of protective or guarded? I get a sense. It's like what am I seeing? It's like I'm seeing a double agent here. It's like I'm seeing someone who's like they have it's like a gun. Like I don't know if you're not too sure if your mum knew how to use a gun, but I am seeing her. But it's something that has been hidden, but she's going out and it's like she's on patrol. So I just feel like there's a sense of being on guard, or maybe she had really good intuition about certain things.
Not that I know of.
No intuition, and she didn't know how to use a gun.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna say that it's could be about being protective. I do feel like there is a sense of caring, and also doing things her way. I feel like she was also very different too. I feel like that there is a strength about this lady as well. Like she does show love and compassion, but there's a strength with her. I'm also feeling very hot, so I don't know whether she felt hot or she got like hot flushes, or there's something about feeling very, very hot. I want to say too, I see her as being, she's showing me herself as being being a slim person, but I'm also seeing her as not an older person. I'm seeing her as a young person. So whether or not she likes that just to look young, or she passed away while she was young, but she's showing me herself as a younger person, not old. I feel like that she prefers to remember herself as that young person with a slimmer figure that I feel like. And I feel like that she may have had like good legs too. She doesn't show me her legs as well. It might be something with her legs as well with her. She used to give me cheese. I feel like it could be to the new year, but she used give me cheese with a drink in her hand too. I also want to say with her things that's like saying non-negotiable. So I feel like there's things with her that are non-negotiable. I feel like she liked nice things, and she also liked to look nice. I feel like she likes to look nice. I see her as being like looking nice as well, or wanting to look nice. And I feel like she liked, I do feel there's a caring. Did you look after this lady as well? Or do things for her? Did you look after her or do things for her?
Yeah, she lived with me, yes.
Okay, because I'm seeing you like, she may not be in a wheelchair, but I'm seeing you pushing her in a wheelchair. So to me, it's like you're looking after her and making her like your number one. And I feel like she's very grateful for that too. But there's a strength with her too. I don't feel like this lady's a pushover. There's a strength with her. There's a certain thing that she would like demand as well. And I just feel like in her youth, I just feel like she's very like on the go, very, very strong, very independent. I don't feel like this lady would like to depend on people. Like she's very independent. And even when she's not well, she still wants to be independent. She still wants to do things too. And I just feel like I see when people saying, don't be silly, don't be silly. So I just feel like she's all about you. She was all about you, likes you as well. But I kind of feel like you got to do what she says. Because I feel like she's going to push over. Mm-hmm. Because it was like mother and son with her too.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Okay. There's changes to the home. She's in the home and she's like changes to the home. It's like I want to change the flooring in the home. Do you want to make changes are you making changes to your house? Because she's talking about changes in the home. It's like I want to change the flooring, whether I'm putting a carpet down or I want to change the floor or some sort in the home.
We're getting ready to move.
Oh, okay. Because it's like, she's standing in his home and like she's stamping on the floor and she's like, there's changes to the home. Okay. Okay. She's actually quite happy about this. So I feel like this is about time. This is a good time as well because she's like, it's about time or it's timing. So I do feel like she's quite happy. I want to say this lady was good with her pennies or like she wants to keep her money. She's got money with her and she wants to keep her money tight. So it's about counting pennies or like keeping money tight. But she's quite happy to move as well. So you guys are going to move to a new home, like meaning like new build, new home. I feel like it's a house.
Yeah, a whole different place. Yeah.
Because
different house.
Yes, but the house itself, I don't feel like it's going to be an old house. I feel like you're wanting to move into a house that's quite new as well. Or either that or it's been renovated.
It's newer.
Okay, because it's a sense of a renovation or new home. Because I just feel like you need a new, fresh outlook as well. There is a sense of wanting to be near water, but I don't see a water view from the home. But there's a sense of I want to be near water as well. But I'm seeing more like woods or bush around you. But she isn't talking about being near water. So I don't know if she liked to be near water or she liked the water. She is saying that she loves. Oh, okay. She does send her love and she's getting excited for you for the new year ahead, for the new chapter to begin for you. And you're always in her heart. And I feel like there's also something that you've got to remember her by, whether it be like you're going to grow a plant, there's something here to remember her by. And she's very happy with what you've done. And she's always, even in spirit, she's there like holding you up, being not your backbone, but she's being a support for you in spirit because she's there sort of holding you up, keeping you up and supporting you as well. Okay. Thank you for calling in today, and I Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. So if you wish to contact me for a reading, you can. My website is Lady D Psychic Parties, as well as my Facebook page, which is Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram and TikTok is Lady D as Psychic, and my YouTube channel is Lady D or Danielle Psychic if you can't find it underneath that. I will be posting my predictions for 2024 this week on my YouTube channel as well. So thank you. Happy New Year to you all, and I'll see you in 2024. Be safe and also have a great night and have a prosperous new year. So bye for now.
Hi, I'm Asia, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now, back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.